Released on the play by Breece. Got his receiver downfield.
If he has good technique, he will be really. If his technique becomes great, not just good, then he's a Hall of Famer.
Fight through contact, fighting the offensive line, beating a double team, both will move stacked into one, just a play of pure domination. It's an actual film, it's actual football talk. It's a football show, we should call it football, not storylines.
And you are watching another edition, the third edition of the draft live stream. Just got up, was staying up into the wee hours of the morning looking at Breece Hall highlights and interviews and scouting reports and all of this stuff. Same thing for Jeremy Ruckert. But again, Kyle, for the third day, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. I don't know if I've seen you so much in such a short period of time. Did a good 6 hours something yesterday. Yeah, although I'm getting a little sick of you. You had a little attitude last night. I don't know if it was because you were hungover or something.
I'm not gonna lie though, this draft has been really fun in terms of adding legitimate talent, and it's gonna be one of the last drafts where we have so much capital, hopefully, So this is like a celebration of the future of the New York Jets. So I'm excited. I think like my main prerogative today is to come away with the linebacker, looking at some of these guys on the board. Obviously the Jets pick at 111 and 117, and there's some good linebackers there still. Whether you're like a Beavers fan or Clark or Smith, I think there's legitimate talent at linebacker that could start for the Jets next year. Maybe not week one, but start eventually for the New York Jets next year. So do you have the same view? Is it linebacker, tackle? Is that all you want? Can you see the possibility of a D tackle safety leaking into there, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of with you, and this is to kind of reiterate the point that we made last night. On the one hand, there might be some better D tackle options in free agency, and I would say that offensive line. What were some of the names we were talking about yesterday? We were talking about Brandon Shell, signing him, and it's like you're gonna have to give decent money to Brandon Shell, who is 30 now, by the way. And yeah, I get it. Maybe he's better than the Brandon Shell that we had here in New York, but I'm not super interested in that. So for me, if they end up going offensive line with one of these two picks, that to me seems to be pretty good because you definitely need depth there. And the point that I kind of made last night is I feel like you can have a better career well into your 30s as a defensive lineman. I feel like there's just so many good quality defensive linemen that you can get in and have for reps. But offensive line, they play more snaps, they come out less. You don't want to put a really, really, really bad guy in there. So, when I watched some of the Penn State kid, I kind of liked what I saw. Granted, it was a game or two. Okay. So if they end up taking him with either of these two picks, I'd be happy. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm totally with you on the linebacker aspect.
Yeah, I think at the minimum, whether it be through these two picks, I don't know if they trade down maybe and recoup a 5th round pick or 6th round pick. Which, to be honest, I don't know if Douglas does. It feels like he wants to add legitimate players, not role players like we were talking about yesterday. So, it'll be interesting because I think linebacker is one of the positions drafted, and I think the Jets' biggest holes after that is still backup tackle and linebacker. So, or backup tackle, D tackle, and linebacker. So I think whichever one of D tackle and offensive tackle they don't draft today, they will end up signing because D tackle it wasn't a primary need. It was more of a secondary need. But on the interior right now, the Jets are pretty light in the pants, man. In terms of Q, JFM, Solomon Thomas, Jonathan Marshall, even Shepard to a certain extent, they don't really have a clogger. And I'm not saying, there's a difference between a guy who could play 4-3, penetrate a little bit, but still is a really good run stuffer, and Foley, Fadokasi, Snacks Harrison, and Chris Jenkins. We're not asking for that, but they need something there, man. Because this kind of almost overemphasizes the need for linebacker, because if you're not getting a D tackle, there's gonna be a lot of linemen getting to the second level, and you're asking Quincy Williams to diagnose that snap of a finger, and can he do that? So it's almost like if you don't get D tackle, you better make sure you get a linebacker because they have to be able to diagnose that run.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm curious to see what Marshall can do in his second year. Granted, his thing was never really being a run stuff and clogger type of dude, but I'm willing to see if he can give us some juice. I mean, he has that high relative athletic score, and sometimes when he did because one of the things I hated about his tape was he definitely took a lot of plays off.
Yeah.
But if he can develop into something, Shepard, I really don't have much interest in him. I know he's kind of shown flashes here and there, but he even showed some flashes his rookie year. He just never really developed into anything. Do you have any interest in someone like Ndamukong Suh? No. Even if I'm saying, like, granted, he's made a ton of money in his career, and I don't know that he'd be willing to even sign for anything cheap.
Yeah.
But if you could get him for something relatively cheap.
He kind of gives me like that, like Jadeveon Clowney mercenary type vibes, and like I feel like the Jets, and I don't want to overstate it, but they have like really good vibes right now. Does Ndamukong Suh ruin the vibes? Like I don't know if I want.
He did win a Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Yeah, true, but there's been plenty of assholes who have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not, I don't. Maybe he's changed a little bit.
I think I don't know that he's a bad guy personally or a bad locker room dude. I think he's just one of these guys who, when he starts getting on the field, sports, especially football, it can bring out like a dark side of you. Like you have to go into like savage type mode because you got a bunch of people out there that want to kill you. And I think sometimes he has he has trouble controlling his filter of when you have to stop playing. Like the whistle has been blown, stop in Ndamukong. And I don't know that he's personally like malicious or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, by the way, somebody I saw the comment you mentioned the other day about like a guy who's like, I always hear your name brought up in film stuff, and I had no idea it was you. It's like I actually read the comment. I'm like, how'd you know it wasn't me? Like it's like, oh, Joe Blewett, and then you're like, oh, I watch a guy Joe Blewett, but no connection in my head between Joe Blewett.
I wondered the same thing. I don't know, maybe he watches you when he's drunk or something. And
then and then there's a guy a lot of stuff going on, but a guy commented on the video from last night. He's like, I didn't want to watch this during the draft because I wanted to pay attention to everything you guys are saying. So I was like, 6 hours? You're going to go back and watch 6 hours because you really want to focus on what we're saying? I'm like, good luck, buddy.
And he could have watched it in 2x speed, maybe.
That's what I do. People think I'm a psychopath. When I listen to like Rogan and stuff, like I listen to it like 3 times speed because I'm too impatient to listen to guys speaking slowly. Like I need to get through the podcast.
I've never done 3. I've done
3.
2.
I've done 3 on Spotify. It's the same as 2. Like I don't think it goes any faster. Like I've timed it up. So 3.5 times the speed is the same as 2. I'm pretty sure, maybe a little bit faster, but it's not really 3.5. I'm telling you. So really? What's up, Yoshi? I hope you guys got your coffee. Steven, what's up? Simon, day 3, awesome draft Jets. Steven is hoping Brandon Smith again is a guy who you saw early on in this process be talked about as a 2nd round pick because of his athletic upside, and now sitting here for the Jets to potentially take out 111 with two defensive coaches with Ulbrich and Saleh who are known to develop linebackers. I'm willing to take a risk on Smith. Is he probably your number 1 guy right now?
I couldn't really say, but I'm definitely all here for the linebacker. What did you hear about these guys in comparison? So I know that obviously when whoever's drafted, you're going to watch as much tape as you can. Yeah. But based off of what you heard and reading other things that you've read from people you respect, who would be ranking the linebackers? You give me the order that, in your opinion, right now.
Yeah, so I think it's between Smith and Smith just based on, him kind of being higher than falling a little bit with really high athletic upside. I think that would probably be my number 1. Again, I'll preface it by saying I could watch the 3 of these linebackers and have a completely different ranking, So I would probably say him. From what I've heard, probably Beavers and then Clark, but I've also heard Beavers isn't necessarily the best mover and Clark is a good mover. So let me rephrase. I'm gonna say Smith, Clark, because apparently he's a pretty good athlete, and then Beavers. Beavers seems like a little bit of like a clogger, run stuffer type guy. From what I've heard, again, could be wrong. Completely willing to admit that before I watch a guy. So that I would say that's my order of linebackers. Let's see who else is in here. And what's up? Chris said he's going to trade up again. You think the Jets would trade up again right now from 117 to or 111, like 105 next year, 7th round pick?
Maybe. Shoot, man, if they have a guy that on their board that they're really liked and they're scared a team ahead of them is going to take them, I could see it. Listen, the thing that Joe Douglas is aggressive when he needs to be. So he always preaches we're going to be aggressive, but we're also going to be responsible. And I think that he is pretty good at that. I mean, like, granted, we probably would have pulled the trigger on the trade for Debo or AJ. I don't know if Debo could have actually been done, but Joe Douglas, he does not believe in overpaying in a trade. And if he's ever involved in a trade and anyone's getting fleeced, it's going to be the other team, not him. I think he's aggressive when he needs to be, and I think that the trade ups that we got in this draft, I do think that they were pretty good value. So
yeah, it's like people kind of almost like put that like conservative tag on him. Like even his second year in free agency, like, oh, the Jets didn't spend a lot of money last year. We spent the third most guaranteed money in the NFL last year. Like he was not frugal last free agency. This free agency, he signed guys. Last year he traded up, many picks for AVT. This draft, he trades up for Jermaine Johnson. This draft, he trades up for Breece Hall. Like he can be aggressive, and he, like you said, he absolutely throws teams over the barrel, and bends them over the barrel in terms of trades with Herndon and Darnold and Jamal Adams and Blake fucking Cashman for a pick. Like, what are we talking about here? So like
that was amazing.
My thought is like, listen, at this point, if you can get a pick for Blake Cashman, who's probably not going to make it to OTAs, he's going to tie his shoe and snap his shoulder. Dude, at this point, let's trade GVR for a 6th or 7th round pick.
How would you feel about this?
Jeff Smith.
How would you feel about this? So I didn't watch this kicker at all, but Daniel Jeremiah said there's a kicker who's a stud.
Is it Cade York?
Yeah, I think that's the name.
Listen, if there's a kicker,
fourth round's probably too early.
No.
Especially when you look at, dude, when the Bucks took that kicker, I think it was from Florida State a couple years ago.
Oh, not Pinheiro. Aguayo or Guerrero or whatever the hell his name
Roberto
was.
Aguayo? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder if he would, flip some kind of earlier pick next year to move up or something, or if he does end up trading back and acquiring some extra picks today.
If he does that, guess what it does? It all but confirms my conspiracy theory about the kicker position. Which I said, obviously, yeah, it's partially
remind us what that is.
Partially a joke. I was saying that for the first couple of years, Joe Douglas ignored kickers so much because it was a very low key way for him to lose some extra games to get better draft picks. And I said when they're ready to compete, he'll actually try to get kickers because we ignored kicker for so long. Now we draft a kicker, find a way to spend a draft pick on a kicker. Hey, all but confirmed. But no, I don't think. I mean, maybe let's say if they trade down from like 111 to 120, they get a 6th or 7th round pick. Could I see it? Maybe, but probably not. So, let's keep moving on. But really, like, let's be honest. Like at this point, if you drafted the backup offensive lineman, why is GVR still here? Is there a stupid team willing to give up a 7th round pick for GVR? Maybe. Is there who else? Is there anybody else on the roster you'd be willing to trade after this draft? I guess is a good question for a later round pick, 7th round pick, something like that in this draft. Maybe if they love somebody.
Well, if they drafted an offensive lineman, would I be willing to trade someone like GVR? Sure, I guess. But what's the value? 7th round pick? I don't know if I'm willing to trade him for a 7th round.
I'm willing
Listen,
to cut him.
as a backup, I'm fine with him. But
I'm willing to cut him for free. I'm willing to cut him for free. So if I get a 7th round pick and clears cap.
Yeah. So you take all things equal, you'd take Feeney over him.
And $3 million. That's the thing, yeah. And $3.5 million, yes.
And plus, I mean, I guess if they were really in a pinch, could GVR ever play center? But has he ever played center at any point in his career? Whereas we know Feeney has.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. So yeah,
that's also another thing to consider.
You get like a guy like, let's say it's like a Kennard or whatever from Kentucky, and he's a guy who's supposed to be a guard in the NFL, but he played tackle at Kentucky. He's a guy who has some positional versatility. You get him, you trade GVR. Is there any? I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else that you could possibly fetch like a 7th round pick? GVR.
I mean, you could trade Mims and probably get something.
Johnson. Like right now, what is the running back?
No one's gonna want him,
dude. Again, Blake Cashman, 6th round pick. I'd rather have Ty Johnson.
Stranger things have happened for sure.
Exactly.
But Ty Johnson's also a running back too.
The running back room right now. You have the 3 solidified guys. Do you think they carry 4? And if it's at 4th spot, it's a battle between Ty Johnson, Austin Walter, and P. Ryan. Do you have an inkling of who would win that?
P. Ryan definitely no. Ty Johnson, Austin Walter. I mean maybe, but I mean. The roster's starting to get deeper now. So the question is, do you want to carry 4 running backs when you have other positions that are more valuable and you actually have some players there now?
I think they do because of the emphasis they're going to put on the run game. They don't want a rotation there. It's going to be a run heavy offense.
Thing is, we saw so little of Austin Walter. It's hard to say him, but those other 3 guys. What about why am I forgetting his name right now? He always flashed in the preseason. And we always kind of wondering why they weren't playing him. Josh Adams, he's not with us anymore.
Trenton Cannon.
Definitely not Trenton Cannon.
No, yeah, we tried to sign him back to the practice squad, and he basically told us to fuck off and went to sign with somebody else's practice squad. So I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Kaz, Jets all the time. Good to see you, Joe and Kyle. Day 3 of Douglas Magic Show. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little bit disappointed. It's going to be like we're basically going to blow our load real quick, and then we'll be sitting there for 3 rounds of the draft with nothing. But we'll see.
Yeah, but hopefully they're good players, though.
Yeah, we'll discuss them. We'll go over the draft. I'll open the lineup for call-ins. I'll probably end like maybe 6th or 7th round. I know I gotta pop over to Jets Talk 24/7 too, to talk with those guys, chop it up for a little bit as well. So make sure you're there after here. But let's see. Yoshi, Joe is pretty much Kyle's student now. I don't know how to take that.
I think he was referencing the fact that you're annoying me now.
I'm annoying you.
You're getting on my nerves yesterday.
Teachers can piss off students too, right? Zach Tom is going to be the puck. He can play center, guard, and tackle. Has he played center, though? I know he's a guy who played tackle, right, and can play guard, but center is different than guard. So maybe smack the beaver. Matthias wants the beaver. I remember last year on Jets Talk 24/7. I don't know if you saw that whole segment, but there was that linebacker from LSU. I think his name is Jabril Cox.
Okay.
We were all just sitting there like, dude, you have no idea how bad I want Cox right now. Like, dude, I'm thinking about Cox and it's making me sweat. Like, we were just talking about Cox for like 35 minutes. We were all drinking and shit. And then, so yeah, Beaver, Cox. All right, let's get after it. John Hassel, are there any interesting fullbacks in this draft? There was that guy last year. Was it Ben Mason, right? But this draft, I don't think they address it. You know, I think with the combination of Wesco as a pseudo tight end fullback and with Bowman, they don't need to do that, especially when you have guys who can block like Conklin, like Uzama, and even like Ruckert. Like I was watching a little bit. He needs to clean up a little bit of technique, especially in space when he's blocking. But he is rocked up and physical as hell, man. He's a physical fucking player.
He's definitely rocked up, and he's definitely very willing to block. And yeah,
I don't think he's a burner. I don't think he's gonna be a guy who's gonna necessarily take the top off the defense, but he has acceleration enough to threaten the seam. And he's not like an elite route breaker, but he's very smooth. I like
smooth, and he's definitely a big hands catcher too.
Oh, he can make some catches.
Yeah,
he can make some catches. I like it, man. I do.
Solid hands. I mean, you're comparing his hands to someone like Uzama's, and
not gonna lie, Kyle. I might jump the gun here. I might do a sauce. Might do a sauce and figure out that number. I might do a Ruckert. If he wears 88, tight end, Long Island kid, I might do it. I might do it. I might do it. I have faith. It might be a shirt, maybe a shirt, like $25.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not gonna be able to buy a jersey. You'd have to get it custom.
He deserves it. You know what? I'll be early. It's okay. Oh, yeah. Daniel Flele. Another guy, again, do you want to take that risk? Guy who's 6'8", 400 pounds. I can tell you the Jets are going to be one of those teams they get off the bus.
Dude,
like,
if we're talking about like if everyone keeps talking about how Becton's too damn big, and I get okay, 4th round versus taking a guy 11th overall. I just don't I didn't watch his tape other than like some highlights that my brother was showing me or whatever. I have to imagine he cannot move that well. I mean, yeah. Becton, for as big as Becton is, Becton can move. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Let's do a best players available list too, because like Kyle, you have Beavers out there, you have Clark out there, you have Calvin Austin out there, I don't think they're going to take the receiver, but there's a bunch of names, like because somebody just brought up what's his name, Winfrey. So we were talking about Winfrey at 105. Do you think that there's a possibility that they might skip linebacker and tackle and take a guy in Winfrey who, like on ESPN's rankings, again, I don't put very much stock in anybody's rankings, but with that being said, this was a guy who I was seeing consistently like 2nd, 3rd round. If you have their 4th overall defensive tackle, 54th in the class, I think that's probably the most value at this point. Again, we could watch and say this guy is he's completely overrated. But it seems like that's the biggest name on the board right now is Winfrey.
Yeah. Well, and another thing you have to consider too is you can never have too much of a rotation on the defensive line.
Yeah.
And we're a little thin at that position right now. So they could definitely go in that direction. I just, what's the concern? If he is, borderline second, third round talent, why has he slid to this point? Is there anything that we don't know about? I don't know.
For sure.
And somebody was saying yesterday in the chat, I can't verify this myself. Is he a little suspect against the run? And if that's the case, then, we're kind of looking for a guy kind of on the interior who is a little bit more stout against the run. So I don't know if that really solves the problem for us, because we already have a young developmental guy, day 3 guy, who can give us a little bit of a juice in terms of pushing the pocket, in terms of pass rush with Marshall. And we're hopefully he pans out. If Winfrey's just another, and listen, I like the penetrators too, but we're looking for a little bit something to kind of clog the middle too. So I don't know. I could see him going there, but we'll see.
Mike Cause is asking about Lindstrom, the center from Boston College. Would you consider, to me, I get the want for backup center because people don't love McGovern long term. I think McGovern could easily be signed. He's 29 years old, about to turn 30. I think he's a little better than people realize. Again, I think he's average. I'm not saying he's great, but I want a guy who could play tackle. I'm not as concerned with backup center because Feeney, again, while not a great player, I feel more comfortable with Feeney as a backup center than I do with McDermott as the backup tackle
or Chuma.
Yeah. So
yeah, totally.
I would say no. I'd rather have a tackle to that cause. Trey Gant wants Winfrey and Falele. Okay, yeah, Falele. There's people saying second round pick. He's so. Don't forget dude. Tanzel Smart was good in the preseason last year. He was. If he develops, I like him a lot. If you're telling me right now, sign the dotted line, Tanzel Smart or Nathan Shepard, I know that's not saying a lot, but I'm taking Smart over Shepard.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Rob D, what's up? What's up, everyone? Day 3, let's go. I was surprised when Smart wasn't played. Yeah. Swolsey, I know this is being nitpicky, but I am the only one who felt like Kenneth Walker looked like a better player than him and Hall. Dude, I watched a little bit of Hall last night. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. The guy can fucking move, man. There are people saying, oh, he doesn't have great burst and all this stuff, and he's not a normal size running back in terms of he's small. Dude, 6'1" or 6'6", 6'1", 220 carries really well.
He's a shade under 6 feet, and he's about 217.
His contact balance while in the open field and ability to maintain speed through cuts in the open field is ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous. Super patient.
Yeah. So I think it was Harold last night, and if I'm wrong, and it was somebody else, sorry, but I do think it was Harold who said that he sees a little bit of Le'Veon in him. Eric Turner also kind of made that comparison as well, that he is kind of patient behind the line of scrimmage.
I think Le'Veon is more powerful than he was. And I think that
Le'Veon was big as shit in college. Le'Veon slimmed down once he got to the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Le'Veon can truck some dudes. I think that Breece is more athletic in the open field than Le'Veon.
That's definitely true.
Breece can burst a 60-yard run. Le'Veon Bell did not, in his career, he didn't have many runs over plus 20 yards.
Yeah, Le'Veon was kind of these guys. He just every time 4 or 5, 6 yards. There are
stats about Breece Hall too. It's like how many fucking runs did this guy break? That was 65 plus yards for touchdowns. Now the only thing is that the thing I was seeing that's a little bit concerning is he's had 800 touches already in college. So, but the good thing is he's not coming in to be our bell cow. He's going to come in, and I think we said the split.
He doesn't need to be Derrick Henry.
The split last night we said he's going to be 50% Hall, 35% Carter, and 15% Coleman other, so he might see 250 carries a year, which is fine. So
yeah, you do kind of wonder with the scheme that we're running, is he the best fit in the world? Because some coaches, when they run this scheme, they want a guy take Tevin Coleman, for example. Tevin Coleman's all gas picking through the hole.
No brakes.
He all gas, no brakes. Seriously, he's really downhill.
Yeah.
And dude, so many times last year, not so many times, but a decent amount of times last year, he almost broke one. Whereas Breece is definitely more patient behind the line of scrimmage before he picks a hole. But when he does pick it, he does have that burst. I mean, that high 4.3 speed is definitely legit. It's not just a number at the combine. You definitely see it in games. And he is pretty good as a receiving back too. So, when I think it was Harold who was making that Le'Veon comparison, he does have good receiving skills as well.
Yeah. So, let's see. Did you Verge Tibbs his video of Ruckert getting the call? Oh man, let's go. Yeah, the Ruckert stuff was awesome. I don't know if you saw the interview where he was getting interviewed by Eric Allen, And like,
No, I didn't see it.
it's just me. Maybe I was just exhausted last night. I want to watch it again. But like Eric Allen's like asking him questions. He kind of like a cheesy smile on his face, and Ruckert's like answering the questions. And you hear, I want to get exactly what his dad is saying or something saying in the background. But he's like, you start hearing a little bit of cursing, and then it sounds he's saying like the fucking New York Jets. Like he's like screaming in the background. You can see, kind of, like see Eric Allen's face like going from smiling and then realizing you hear cursing on the screen. He's like, okay, see you later. Because it sounds like,
Oh man.
yeah, they were pumped, man. That's awesome. Like, can you imagine being drafted by the Jets? Like, his family is massive Jets fans. Like, that is awesome, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have stories like that.
Win freaking pressure, but a poor run stuffer or stopper. Yeah, if that's the case, then not necessarily the best fit for the Jets need. We have a bunch of guys who can rush. We need some stuffers. So. Yo, yeah. I'm surprised to see you both again. Alex, we told you we're gonna do this for months. My wife's like, is this you're really doing, like, are other people doing this? I'm like, I think every other streamer does every single day of the draft. Like you gotta play hard to be in the game, you know? So this isn't the first year. We'll be doing this forever. I'll be doing this forever. So Kev Trot, I was so focused. I was so Jet focused. I missed the Mets no-hitter. Yeah, dude. I missed the Mets no-hitter until somebody told me in the stream in the bottom of the 8th inning. And both Joes we trust. I appreciate that, James. Never gonna steer you guys wrong. I'm hoping I don't turn on these people's film, and it's like an Ashton Davis situation where I was laughing. I was like, this is not gonna be a good review. People are gonna hate me, and it's not like it's turned out well for him so far, you know. So
yeah, he's not good.
Simon, like
somebody. Oh, by the way, when you were asking about players that might be traded, somebody said, would you trade Ashton Davis for like a 5th or a 6th or something like that?
Fuck yes, I'd trade him for a 5th round pick. At this point, does he make the team? You know, like it's we have Joyner, you have Whitehead. I think Will Parks established himself nice at the end of the year as like a locker room guy on this team. So I think Will Parks makes it. You know, would you trade Ashton Davis to take another safety like Verone McKinley?
He's not a lock to make the team. I'll say that. He's not a lock, but I think he probably will make it. But he's no lock.
Yeah. Jay Long, it's awesome to get content from guys like you and not so many idiots like him turn me off to the mainstream sorts me to keep up the good work. Appreciate that, Jay. Appreciate that. Again, I hope you like me after we do the film reviews. Now that we are in rounds of 4+, most of these guys are probably developmental guys. Honestly, though, like for a team like the Jets, who are so, again, they're filling out the roster nicely, but they still have a big hole at backup tackle, which we said is probably going to start at least 4 or 5 games in a year on the Jets. You have, you know, the need for a run stuffer. I think you can legitimately get a starting level safety and or linebacker right now. Like, who's to say that Verone McKinley or Clark or Beavers can't start right now? You know, obviously week 1, maybe not. Maybe you have Quincy Williams or whoever else in front of them to start the season off. But I think you can find a starter or 2 right now in the 4th.
In comparison to Quincy Williams, unfortunately, yes. One of those guys could beat him out. It's not a stretch to say that. By the way, when we were talking about linebackers last night, any interest in Joe Schobert?
Yeah, I'll have to look into him a little bit more, but he's a name. Like, he's a name I recognize, so it's better than some of the other stuff we have.
Yeah.
You know, like, how did he play last year? Let's say. As much as I like Spider-Man, we need another guy just in case. I guess you're talking about a kicker.
I think he's talking about a punter.
Can you imagine? We spend a draft pick on a punter and then get rid of him after 2 years? I don't know if that's going to happen. That's not the best look.
What round did they take Braden Mann in? 6th?
5th? I think it was a 5th. It might have been a 6th. Might have been. Yeah, I think it was a 6th. I think it was a 6th. I had to bet you. Blake Glassman. Brandon Smith is a name, but not a great player. You prefer Beavers or Malcolm Rodriguez way before Smith. Okay, Harold. Again, we'll see. Winfrey, yes. Talk about that. I think Joe takes the punt god out of Arizona and another punter. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You take another punter. That's really telling of what you think about Braden Mann.
Let's see. Kev Trot, it's clearance time. Everybody that's just a body must go. Buy GVR, buy Wesco. How about trading Yeboah?
You're not going to get anything for Yeboah.
You're always going to trade.
He wasn't even drafted.
No, he wasn't drafted. And he got like 5 catches. 4, 3. I rather, again, to me, I think Wesco is tight end 4. I rather have Wesco on the team than Yeboah. At least Wesco can block sometimes. Yeboah, I don't know what he offers.
Yeah, no. When Wesco gets ahead of steam, and he actually has a linebacker or whatever, whether it's a edge rusher or he has him squared up, and the guy really can't move out of the gap because he has to maintain that gap integrity. Wesco can blow that guy out of the water.
You do this, I would do this. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said last night, I don't want 3 quarterbacks on the team. I don't think it's necessary. I would trade Mike White for anything.
I'm trading Mike White before I trade Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I'll take him for a 7th round pick. Like dude, the chances he make the roster is not over 50%. I would say.
And
like,
he was a 5th round pick, and the Jets tendered him at his original pick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they can like bypass that and say, hey, listen, our roster's actually stacking up a little bit well here. We don't want to carry 3 of you guys. Audio 7th round pick. I would do it. I would do it. P. Ryan Johnson. Yeah, I would trade both of those guys if you could. I don't think you're gonna be able to get anything. Lou Sosa, resign LDT and Keenan Cole. Yeah, at this point, I again, it's gonna be a backup offensive lineman, D tackle. I could see Keenan Cole too. The Jets they're gonna have a good $4, $5, $6, $7 million to play with after this draft as well. So they're gonna make some free agent additions in May and June, guys. It's this roster after the next hour or two is not going to be completely done. So I would like to see Keelan Cole back. LDT.
Dude, I liked Keelan Cole, and he certainly was disappointing last year. I don't know how much interest I have in re-signing him.
If you want to
to be honest too, because all right, you re-sign him, he might take away snaps from someone like a Jeff Smith. And honestly, I'd like to see more of Jeff Smith with maybe getting some end arounds and things like that. You're not going to give an end around to Keelan Cole.
So he walks into the office right now and says, I want to sign back here. What's your max offer for Keelan Cole? Or do you just not want him? There's just no offer on the table.
I honestly don't think I'm going to give him an offer.
Really? I would give him just because like we went to the year last year with, we had Cole, we had Crowder, we had Moore, we had Davis, we had Barrios, and like, oh, good depth at the receiver core. But then there's still games where Tyreek Black was playing. So Keelan Cole is another backup insurance option. $2 million. I would be willing to do it. But
here's my thing though. You're never going to put Keelan Cole in replacement for Wilson, Corey Davis, or Elijah Moore, right? He's never going to take reps away from either of those guys, unless they're hurt, of course.
Well, exactly.
But in a certain type of, like, let's say that you go with, forward wide receivers on any given play, and you want some guy as a guy who is going to go in motion, whether he's actually going to get the ball or it's just a play fake. I'd rather have, like a Jeff Smith or somebody like that, or a Barrios to do that for me than I would Keelan Cole.
They have plenty of guys to do that.
So Keelan Cole is only really going to get any reps if he's basically subbing for a guy who's injured.
Yeah, an emergency.
Right? But do I want to suit? Is he even going to suit up if my 3 top guns are healthy?
No, but I don't know if prioritizing Jeff Smith because of his ability to take end around stuffs or end arounds and things like that is more valuable than Cole, even as like a primary backup guy who might not even dress, because you have Elijah Moore, you have Wilson to do that, you have Barrios to do that. So Jeff Smith is like your 4th best option as a jet sweep guy. Like they have plenty of those guys already, so it's not like they're needing for that playmaking ability. So I'd rather have a guy who's going to come in and at least knows where to be, knows how to run routes. Like I'd rather have Cole than Jeff Smith, but I get what you're saying.
And I get what you're saying too, especially given, Corey Davis has missed a good amount of games in his career.
Yeah. And
does anyone know Garrett Wilson? Has he ever missed a decent amount of time at Ohio State, or is he always really healthy? Because
I don't think
that's news to my ears. If he's very healthy.
So we have something I can't see the other screen right now, but asking about safeties. Verone McKinley, I would say, is the best one on the board right now. He's a guy who I've seen picked in the 3rd round, 4th round. Other names I've heard of before: Yusef Corker, Smoke Monday, Sterling Weatherford, are the names that I've heard of right now. I've heard of O'Neal Jr., but he's more of a box guy. So I think honestly, if they were to take McKinley, I wouldn't be mad right now. So let's see.
Somebody said Denzel Mims or Keelan Cole. Who are you taking? I'm going to take Mims just based on the upside.
Yeah, upside. It's not that far away though. Let's be honest. Like,
Keelan Cole is what he is, and
you're going to take him for upside. But right now, hey Kyle, Keelan Cole or Mims have to win on a route, get you that big 3rd down to win the game. You're going to take Cole.
Unfortunately, yes. Like Denzel Mims still needs to kind of prove it to me, and he needs to make amends for what he did last year
Pick his
to
in
win
for
back
the
my trust.
Oh, freezing up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Round 4 is where the Jet scouts really start to make their money. Yeah, start. Well, they have 2 picks right away, and we're pretty much done. So let's see. Good morning, Ben Weaver. Almost sounds like Beaver. Is that a sign? Darius Kennard would be a solid backup guard, yeah, and slash tackle. I wouldn't hate Kennard at all. Philele has a 2.6 ish RAS pass. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh,
That's not good. What's up, Sneakers to Boots?
that alone makes you think that Douglas wouldn't be interested.
Square Peg. What up, fellas? I work today, but rolling with y'all in the background. Appreciate that, man. Square Peg's the guy I haven't really seen a lot before the draft, but new guy. Appreciate you, Square.
Hey, Kev Chada, good question. Would you try to trade Mims for Chenault? I would definitely try to trade Mims for Chenault.
Chenault's proven more in his career so far than Mims has.
And Chenault, ball in his hands, and really good for the offense.
Yeah. No, like listen,
he does have some injury issues, but
if he's a guy who's getting like 5 touches a game, not even, like you take that burden off of Barrios more, because like you look at what he did in college, like he's a better yak player than anybody we have on the team right now at the receiver core. Like that's what he was in college.
Yeah.
Yak. So you take that pressure off of Elijah Moore's body. I would do Mims for Chenault straight up easy any day.
Imagine Joe Douglas makes a decent sized trade today. That would be cool. That would get me excited. If he got a player like that, I'm legit going to be pretty excited. Because Chenault, I don't think Chenault's anywhere near his potential yet.
4, Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Buccaneer selection. Let's see.
Sales from Munich. All of Deutschland is excited.
All of Deutschland.
Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing right here at the FC Bayern Stadium in Munich this season. Welcome Tom Brady and his crew. And now let us announce the draft pick.
Shut up,
With the 106th pick in this 2022 NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Kate Otten, tight end.
Okay. Kate Otten, the tight end. Okay. Jets don't even know the tight end, so we're fine there.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
We're fine there. Kenny Bowett's still alive. He's still alive. Let's see. All these players down here are going to have some negative. Yeah, of course, dude. Like even, no players are not going to have a negative, So, but 4th round picks can be legit players, man. They can. And especially the thing to consider with this draft is it's deep. Why? Because of all the COVID opt-outs last year. Last year there was not a lot of players entering into the draft. A lot of them pushed it off until this draft. So this draft is going to have some players in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, even UDFA.
I thought it was only really like the top guys, like the Jamar Chases and Micah Parsons that opted out.
They put up. There was a number I saw. I maybe should have screenshot it, but in terms of the difference of players who declared for the draft versus last year, it was hundreds of players.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
that's surprising. Did not know that.
Yeah. So West Coast just watched some Hall guys had some nice head shakes, gets backers to move out of gaps with jitter steps, bust through holes you don't even see. He's patient as hell, man.
I'm gonna quote Eric Turner. He said that if you watch his tape, it's kind of like an End One mixtape, like from back in the day. Remember End One, like crossing and juking people out on the basketball court. Oh. You definitely do see some of that, man.
What's up, Murdog? Yeah, Rob, dude, that's the video too with Ruckert. Like, I don't know if you saw that, but like, so
I saw the still shot of his dad, like super hyped.
So he gets the phone call, right? And like, they're all silent. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. So he gets a phone call because it could be any team. And then his brother's like wearing a Jets hat, and he like reaches out for his brother's Jets hat, and he starts to put it on. His family freaks out.
That's cool.
Good afternoon, Joey, Kyle, Chad.
Why did he just scoop his brother's hat though? Like, don't they have like a bunch of hats there in case whatever team picks them?
I don't know, do they? Like, I know it's like a thing with like college like selections like day and stuff like that. But I think they would, right?
Yeah, they do, because you always see these guys who are at home on days 2 and 3.
Maybe his brother just robbed that hat. Was like, fuck this, I'm wearing it. It's a nice hat until you get picked. Could have happened, especially if you have some booze flowing too.
Yeah.
So Let's see. Appreciate all you guys being in here again for another day.
How many we got in here right now?
We had like 120. Now it's 105.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Again, there's a bunch of other streams going on, so appreciate you guys choosing Jets X Factor. The 100 of you who did.
All right. Well,
Texans pick.
Eagle Fang announced the Texans pick.
God damn it, Eagle Fang! Don't do that. I didn't see it, so don't give away the picks before. If you guys could, don't give them away before we play them.
And with the 107th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Dameon Pierce, running back.
Okay. We don't need a running back. We don't need a tight end. That's good for us. Give us the linebackers. Give us the safety. Give us Winfrey. Like, listen.
So that's a big step down. If the Texans were truly going to take Breece and they end up settling for him, definitely a way inferior player. Right? Yeah, I watched 1 or 2 of his games.
Oh, geez, Capshada. I don't know yet. Well, I'm not talking about UDFAs 3 rounds ago. I'm sure there will be some guys, and you guys will get at least 3 reviews of the UDFAs. I feel like every year I do 3. Like, pick the top 3 most talked about. You keep all QBs until cuts are necessary. Why? If you can get a pick for one now, why? I'd rather sign Josh Johnson back for preseason.
Yeah, no, I think what he's trying to say is, like, you wouldn't cut them until like training camp. But if you can if we're talking about getting a pick, like this is your chance to get a pick this year, you think you make the move.
Harold's on the same page as us. I said $2 million for Coley at $2.5 million. I think that's fair. Let's see. Wow, Browns picks in. They're flying in.
Yeah, that's how they do it on day 3. There's more commercials, and then once they get back from the commercials, it's like they do it in spurts.
Nude says let's draft Calvin Austin and never give Jeff Smith a touch ever again. Let's see. True.
Listen, if they draft Calvin Austin, I'm not going to be disappointed because just overload on offensive firepower, man.
Cool with it, bro. Cool with it. After what we've seen the last two decades, let's load up on offense. I'm cool with it. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, I can kind of hear somebody talking, but I can't really hear what they're saying.
He walked out to announce it, but like it's a weird camera. Okay, here it goes.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Verone Mckinley.
Winfrey's gone. Okay. We expected it.
Somebody said you're going to be tight about the Browns pick before we heard it.
Yeah, well, again, if the guy isn't a run stuffer, like we have JFM, we have Rankins, we have Q inside to rush the passer, we need a guy who could stop the run. So are you going to draft a guy who can't play the run to take up pass rushing reps from JFM, Q, Rankins? Probably not. Solomon Thomas too is a guy who can rush inside.
Yeah.
Denzel Mims or Keelan Cole, who are you taking? Oh, yeah, Hunt. You actually, I saw this. You said this before, right, Kyle? It's Denzel Mims, but Keelan Cole's a better player right now. Did anyone pick Falele? No, not yet.
Ant really wants him. Ant's a tall kid, by the way. Ant's got a good 2-3. He's probably got like 3-4 inches on me, and I'm 6'1".
So he's biased to tall players?
Yeah, that's why he wants him.
Pete Frenno, what's up? I'd be very Jonathan. I guess happy. I don't know what happened there. How happy?
I'd be very happy, Jonathan.
Or maybe just very Jonathan. Maybe that's a new word. Square Peg, thanks. You usually watch after the fact, but live, but never miss a stream. Been following you since your days with Glenn. Wow, throwback. The only guy who was before Glenn was Brandon Dowling and Vinny when I did a show for Vinny with it for like a year. But that's a long time. It's been a long time. Started at Jet Nation. So, Alexander Hunt, it would be awesome if we could trade for a proven center. We have one on the team. So, the
McGovern hate is too much, man.
Yeah. Jonathan Richter, I love Ruckert, but he was a reach with so many tight ends on the board. But if he's their best player on the board and is their best tight end, why is it a reach? You want to push off? Like if you think tight ends.
What were the tight ends that were better than him on the board?
Jake Ferguson or the guys from the board. You have Ferguson, you had Cade Otton, you had the guy from Maryland, Chig Okwanu or Kwanbu, whatever the hell his name was. But again, if he's their best player on the board, he's their best tight end, are you going to pass on your tight end maybe 2-3 in the draft for tight end 4 or 5? Like just pick him if he's there. Why not?
Obviously, you don't want him to be a main staple of your offense in terms of offensive stuff flowing his way. But one thing that Jeremiah said when they selected him yesterday was you didn't get to see him catch the ball enough because they had so many good options to throw to. Olave.
Yeah. People have been saying for
our
a while
guy.
that he's going to be a better pro than college player because he just wasn't a focal point of the offense. But any chance I think at least one trade down is possible for the Jets. I think with a class that's deep, I could see them moving down just to grab like an extra 6th or 7th. So yeah, Shadow, good point. We got Carter last year. We can find something this year. Carter was a legitimate good starter last year. Went on the field. So shit, I didn't get to see the Ruckert video yet. Yeah, Mike, I think Jets YouTube and just the Jets app has a lot of those Ruckert videos. Or Twitter, like Eagle saying a lot of Twitter stuff.
Harold said that Hall has some forte in him. Kid is faster though and has a little bit more wiggle.
I've seen Bell, I've seen Forte, I've seen McCoy.
Definitely less LaShawn McCoy than those other two names, I would say. No, yeah. Actually, all three. There's something to all three of those.
Yeah. Phil C. glued here. Appreciate that, Phil. Harold H. Glad you like Hall so far. One of my favorite running backs in a while. I'm very critical of running backs. I'm excited to really, really like famous catchphrase, balls deep. Go balls deep into the film. So
Harold was a running back himself.
100 likes. I agree, Mike. I again don't really ask for likes, but when people do, I'll highlight that. So yeah, let's like it.
Hall's definitely legit, and something that Michael Nania said on Twitter earlier today was like, hey, listen, he thinks he's a good player and he's fine with the pick, but a lot of it's going to be like, how good does he become? If he only becomes if it's only like decent to above average, then the pick's probably not worth it. But if he becomes like a really good running back, then the pick's obviously worth it because he just doesn't value running backs that much. And I agree.
Alex Hunt is saying, I feel like we get a really good UDF undrafted free agent almost every other year. Snacks and Robbie come to mind recently, so I'm hopeful. Yeah. And I think Joe Douglas is a good talent evaluator, so I think he's going to pull some, like even Dunn. I know he didn't have a big impact last year, but Dunn was a good UDFA pickup, even if he didn't work out. So I'm going to be tight about the Browns pick. Go receivers.
Swolsey said that Hall reminds me of a faster Arian Foster. I don't really see Arian Foster. Arian Foster was kind of like that one-cut guy, more decisive. Like, granted, he played in this system,
Seahawks,
Arian Foster,
Seahawks pick, 109. 2 picks to the Jets go.
With the 109th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Kobe Bryant, defensive.
Okay. Sauce running mate, Kobe. We don't need a corner.
So the Jets are on the clock now, right?
No.
According to Connor Hughes, I'm not announcing the pick. He said the Jets are on the clock. The TV feed is slow. That's what he said.
Oh, of course it's slow. Okay, I'm not looking at the chat. Let's see. Best remaining, Kyle. Let's update this list. So right now we still have McKinley on the board. You still have Beavers. You still have Brandon Smith. You still have Rodriguez, the linebacker a lot of people like. You still have Clark. You still have Calvin Austin. You still have Falele. There are a lot of good players, or names that I recognize, at least that people talking about being higher picks than this. Is that a fair way to rephrase that? Because we can watch these guys and be like,
sure,
this guy sucks.
Dude, the fourth round, there's always so many 4th round picks that end up panning out, especially early on. So
yeah.
And really, if we're being honest, it's always easier to evaluate the really, really, really good college players. Like even dumb teams draft great college players in like the first couple rounds, but they really say the draft is kind of won on day 3.
What do you think about this comment?
Hit home runs, or can you hit solid starters with a mid to late round pick?
What are you? I just went on Twitter for no reason. I didn't see the pick yet, thank God. But what are your thoughts on this one, Jimmy G and Baker's landing spots?
I think I keep hearing Baker to Carolina. Jimmy G, maybe the Giants.
Can you imagine Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold in the same? that is just gold.
It's funny, but we all know who's going to start.
I think. Okay, let's see. Pick is in for the Ravens.
Okay, put the volume up.
I will when they're walking. I don't want to like scroll down or anything right now either because I don't want to know the pick. But
okay. Well, I know the Jets pick. I'm not going to announce it, but I know it.
You got to stop doing that.
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
I know, but like I try to like then you make me gauge your excitement and stuff, and I don't like just you doing
Okay,
this to me.
then I'll stop doing it.
Yeah, don't. We only have one more pick. You could be a good Kyle for one more pick, right? Or for one pick out of
Yes.
all of them because you apparently you knew them all. Let's see. Nope.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Daniel Falele.
Okay, Falele off the board. No Falele to the Jets. So McKinley, Beavers, Smith, Clark, Calvin
We'll see
Austin.
what happens. We'll see what happens.
Piece of shit. Zach Tom's another guy. Lindstrom, right? Long snapper. We need one of those. Other D tackles. Let's see. Are there any big guys? Neil Farrell Jr. I'm seeing right now, 6'4", 330. Farrell's a physical run defender who knocks offensive linemen off balance and fights through blocks with his hands. Massive and good play strength. Ridgeway, Arkansas, 321. Looking for some a little bit bigger guys. So there's some D tackles there still. Maybe the Jets would consider. Calvin Austin.
People keep mentioning Calvin Austin. Almost makes me want to watch him right now.
Go ahead, throw him up. Yeah, Verone McKinley. Who is it? Pick is in. Kyle knows freaking 10 minutes before I do because you don't have patience.
All I'm saying is you wait so long for the draft. Why do you need to have patience?
You're probably right. Air Falele, 29-inch vertical. That's not that impressive.
Hey, that's what Jameis Winston got.
Dude, what's his name? Breece
He's
Hall got
really
like 40-inch.
I saw that, yeah.
Guy's explosive, man. All right, Jets pick from London, England.
Wait till the pick's over.
Hello, coming here to you guys from London on the 72nd floor of the Shard, the view from the Shard, and I have with me the 111th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. My beloved New York Jets select Max Mitchell, tackle, Louisiana Lafayette. Let's get a big awesome.
Okay, let's see what they say about Mac. I don't know if we talked about Max Mitchell, but
don't remember us bringing him up at all. And he doesn't seem like a great athlete. He's pretty tall. He's 6'6" and a quarter, 307. I don't know anything about this player, and I don't even remember anybody in the chat mentioning him either.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, we're talking about 4th round tackles right now, but we're gonna trust that Joe Douglas and Saleh made the right pick. Like if they think this is the best tackle on the board, then he's the best tackle on the board for them. And then they needed the depth here. So let's trade McDermott. No, it's a good move. It's a good move. Now you have your backup center, you have your backup guard, you have your backup tackle. It was a necessary move. So I'm cool with it. I don't know him, but let's see.
They definitely need an offensive lineman for sure.
Yeah.
So
let's see what the chat is saying. Kid from LSU. Yeah, I at this point I want a linebacker, 117. That or a trade down. What's your take on JC Treader? He's still not signed yet, but I don't. Let's see Giants selection too. What's up, Michael N? Not Nanya. Giants.
2022 NFL Draft. The New York Giants select Daniel Bellinger.
Okay. Cake Boss. That was a Cake Boss who announced that. He actually lives in Seabrook. He literally lives like 2 minutes from my house. Paul has some Fortato and the kid is fat. Okay, yeah, I'm still a couple like 10 minutes behind. I want to see what you guys are saying about
I think we should play that Breece Hall tape at some point that I sent to you.
How long is it?
It's like 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
Or just film cut-ups?
Yeah, all 22. I'm just saying, like, because it's going to be a long gap between our pick and probably when we log off. So maybe sometime after that. But obviously it's Blewett's Blitz, so you do what you see fit.
Let's do that.
Yoshi said that he saw LaFleur give Saleh the meanest dap after the pick, so I guess LaFleur really likes this guy.
The tackle? Really? Let's see. What's up, boys? What's up, Harrison? Brandon Smith. Yeah, Smith, dude. Smith, Clark. I really do want a linebacker. That would really nail the draft for me. You know, again, I think if you get a linebacker, biggest holes are D tackle, safety, right? And who's to say that we can't, you know, even with a safety, if it's Joyner and you're hoping for Ashton Davis for another year, if it doesn't work out, you make that investment next year. But D tackle is something I think they would need to sign. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's something you need to sign if you don't get one right now.
Yeah.
Max Mitchell. Okay. I don't know if you guys like him or not. Blake says he's been calling it. Look earlier in the chat.
Okay.
Mitchell, athletic right tackle. Never heard of him. Decent pick. Need strength. Yeah, but we need athleticism over strength initially with this blocking scheme. You know, so I rather see a guy who's more athletic than not athletic enough. Or I rather see a guy who's athletic than just powerful. So I love this pick. I don't know shit about him. Let's see. I guess we're gonna have to trust the front office and coaching staff. You know, every player is not going to be picked who is the top player in ESPN rankings. You know,
Yep.
So Trey McDermott for Happy Twinkie. I'm down. I might actually get Madden this year. I'm very excited to see the squad. Was Max Mitchell in the Senior Bowl, Kyle? Can you look that up? Can you?
Yeah, sure. I'll put.
Yeah, I wonder. That's a good question, Kev. Maybe they saw him a lot in the Senior Bowl and they liked him. Because so far they have two Senior Bowl players, right? With Jermaine Johnson and then Jeremy Ruckert, right?
Yeah, he was at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
I believe.
That's good news. That's good news. And Saleh, I don't know if you heard him talking about it. Like watching all the interviews, like he's saying the benefit of the Senior Bowl is like pro days, combine, like you can put on a face for a day or two, but he's saying when like you go through the grind of real stressors of trying to perform in the Senior Bowl week and the actual game, he's like, you really figure out who players are.
It's a great point.
You know,
great point.
So if they know who this player is and I like them, cool. Let's see. I don't know. You have a video up, but I'm not.
Yeah. So
I'm not sharing it yet. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you can't see it?
I can see it in the background, but other people can't see it right now. I can.
Oh, okay. Why is it that you can? Why is it that you can see it then they can't?
Because I have to choose to add it to the stream.
Oh, okay. It was just Max Mitchell.
Okay.
And it was just some of his Senior Bowl cut-ups, which I know you're not the hugest fan of those.
Okay, so play them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, why not?
Let me. All right, so let me do that.
Sneakers to boots. Watching teams war rooms, we definitely have the most energy. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the call, like the Bears, like they made a
I didn't
call
see it.
To, like Gordon, and it was like, "Hey, Gordon, we're really excited to have you, man. We're building something special this year." And you fucking Joe Douglas, and Sal like sauce, like it's just There's so much energy around the Jets. The Bears know that they suck. That's why.
And you could tell it's a little bit more natural for Saleh. Like it just comes like he just is naturally like that.
I was looking like
Joe Douglas, you could tell he's got he's definitely like an exciting type of guy or whatever, but he has to kind of almost get himself up there to exude that type of energy.
Commanders. Yeah. Other than the draft. He gets excited for the draft.
NFL draft, the Washington Commanders select Percy Butler.
Okay, never heard of him. I was
all right, I'm gonna play the Max Mitchell.
Yeah,
it's 55 seconds.
Give me a second. I'll tell you when I hit play. I was watching the interviews last night with Douglas and Saleh, and I was just like sitting there. I'm like, do we have the number one tag team duo in the NFL? Like, if they were to enter the WWE out of all the other GM head coach combos, like they might beat the shit out of everybody else.
Let's try to think.
McDermott. I don't know how McDermott's.
I don't know. Well. Who's
up.
John Robinson of the Titans? I mean, obviously Vrabel was a tough dude. Dan Campbell. I don't know who the GM is with the Lions, but Campbell is.
Flores, when he was a coach, he seemed pretty fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're up there, top 5 easily. We have to go through all the teams, but Holland Pickett in. Don't play yet.
I'm not.
Giants. We have 3 more picks before the Jets. Smith.
What's up, Big Blue? Charlie, stay strong, keep fighting. With the 114th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Dane Belton, defensive back, Iowa.
Defensive backs are coming off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Sean McDermott. He was a 2-time state champion wrestler, but I don't think Brandon Bean is much of a.
Good. Who are we looking at?
athlete.
Right tackle? Right tackle, right?
Yeah. Apparently,
there you go.
he played both in his career, but apparently he was mostly a right tackle.
Okay. That seemed more like a slip than him actually ripping him down, but
Yeah.
start right there was relatively good, but I'd have to watch it again. I'll watch all these plays 1,000 times. If Jermaine Johnson, I'm gonna break down his Senior Bowl stuff now too.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe a little bit top heavy.
That wasn't the best rep from him right there. Let's see.
Athletic. I want to watch his feet more because it looks like he might be laboring a little bit to get vertical. But Broncos, Damari Mathis, Pittsburgh. Okay.
Got right in the way of the video. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
we'll see. What linebackers are left is asking, or Charlie's asking. Let's see. I'll bring up the whole list just in case there's names here that maybe you know that I don't know. But inside linebackers, Brandon Smith, Beavers, DeMarco Jackson, Malcolm Rodriguez, Damone Clark are the top 5. And I've heard of all of them but DeMarco Jackson.
DeMarco Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. It says he was in the Senior Bowl but struggled, which is okay. Again, he's not the starter right now. So if they think that they could develop him into being a solid backup tackle, fine. You know, maybe a starter one day. You don't know. 4th round pick, he could be. You know, but right now he's a backup, and hopefully for years to come, he's just a backup, which is an important spot. It's worth a 4th round pick.
Somebody said he had a 4.97 RAS score, and I was looking at his spider graph on Mock Draftable. Not really that good. So
Heard he can play guard too. Yeah, we'll look into it. Maybe
according to your favorite PFF, and shout out to Eat Your Crow for posting this. He was a 2nd round pick according to PFF.
Sold.
Here's part of the problem though. So he went to Louisiana, right? So what kind of colleges are they playing against? So PFF is kind of they don't adjust for scheme and all that type of stuff. So they're not grading based on like traits. I get some of those guys also somewhat factor that in when they rank a big board, but it's mostly based on what their scores are, right? So if he's going against a bunch of garbage edge rushers and he's quote unquote winning and he's not giving up a lot of pressures, he's going to have a better grade. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't necessarily translate to how good he's going to be in the pros.
We have a bunch of people talking about Dan Campbell, Mike Vrabel kicking ass, Elias, John Lynch, Caden saying dude solid as Jack DeJody's a monster. Jets would win that belt. Let's see. Max Mitchell might make Blewett favorite. McDermott expendable now. He should be expendable.
That's a good point. Listen, if he gets McDermott off the team, then he's automatically higher.
I have some affinity for him. I don't get it. I don't know.
He seems like he's a very loyal teammate.
Would you want to trade this pick back, Kyle, or do you think we should just take one of those linebackers like Smith right now?
Without saying, it's too tough for me to say. Like if your draft grades are really similar on a bunch of these linebackers, you don't want to just force the linebacker pick too, right? Like I might just walk out of here and say, okay, I'm going to get the guy who I like on my board, and then I'm just going to sign Joe Schobert or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not going to just force a linebacker pick.
Yeah. So I don't want to look at the chat. I got to scroll up in the chat a little bit. Bakhtiari was a 4th round pick, and this is where like people will like you'll get examples of bust or players working out in the 1st round through the later rounds. And like people always use it as an example. And I'm actually backing you up here, Alex. Like people be like, oh, don't draft a tackle in the 1st. Don't draft a Kwanu or Neil. Bakhtiari was drafted in the 4th round. Or like, oh, well, you can't draft this corner. Look at this guy in the 4th round. Oh, you can't draft this receiver. Look at this guy in the 4th round. It's like, why don't we just get a bunch of 4th or 5th round picks then? Like, but yeah, he can, Mitchell can work out. Like we got to watch. I got to watch. It's obviously
according to Michael Nania, 0 penalties allowed last season.
Okay. So not the most athletic guy in the world, but talking about guys not getting penalties, highest score PFF.
That's big, man. Dude, a holding penalty can really fuck up your day, your offense. Mm-hmm. Let's say you have a 2nd and 2 then your offensive lineman gets a holding penalty, and now it's a 2nd and 12, right? So you had a great play on 1st down, totally negated by what happened on 2nd down. So
yeah, 94.8 PFF grade in 2021. Somebody just tagged me this, first among FBS tackles. Thank you, Nicholas Joseph. I don't know if you're in here, but okay, Broncos pick is in. Do you know the Jets pick yet, or are you actually gonna wait?
I know they're on. I'll wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I don't know.
Broncos pick.
See, I listen to you.
16th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Iyuma Owazurike, defensive tackle, Iowa State.
Okay.
So
Let's
was
see.
that pick 116?
116. Jets are up.
Okay.
6'6", 316 D tackle. Wow, 5'3" though. He's kind of
5.32 is really slow for a D
yeah,
tackle.
at 316, 6'6", you'd expect him to move a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Intriguing pick. All right. Jets end of the draft. Do they trade down? Do they make the pick? Do they trade back into the draft? Because ending it at 117 is going to hurt a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Like we're literally halfway through the draft and we're calling it pretty much, right? At this point, like all the comp picks and stuff, like how many picks are in the draft? 230 something, right?
I think it might be more than that.
Let's see.
I think it might be in the 240s.
Let's see. I'm literally just throwing up a mock draft on my phone right now just to see how many picks it goes. I'm just using PFN, just flying through it.
All right. Well, while you do that, NFL Network mentioned around 16 wide receivers were drafted in the first 3 rounds. That's a record. Interesting. Okay. Somebody said 252. Sneakers to boots.
252.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're halfway through the draft. We're done. It hurts a little bit. I like later round picks too, but if we're gonna get a bunch of talent at the top, let's be realistic. That's a better spot to get it. Like
you never know. I mean, dude, they could be in the. Let's say they're in the 7th round and they really like someone who's there in the 7th round. They could flip a 6 next year.
It almost
move
went
into
to
the 7th round.
It's at least per PFN. With comp picks, it's 260. Oh, did he say 262 or 250? It's 262.
He said 252. Now Jonathan Richter saying 262.
Yeah, 262. So, all right, pick is in. So
Shadow Maniac saying, "Oh yeah, commercials for the Jets. You just love to see it."
Never
Jets
ends.
pick. Let's go to a commercial.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like 10 minutes of commercials too. It's not.
And I'm resisting. I'm not checking to see who they picked just for you.
There you go. I wonder if this is the end of the draft, though. Like, do they trade somebody for a late round pick? I hope they do. I want to see another pick. Seven picks.
Almost makes you feel like after the weekend that Joe Douglas has had, almost makes you feel like he's not done here.
Yeah, right. Like, and I was like going to sleep last night, and I was like, you know what? 7 picks. I only got to do 7 film reviews. Not too bad, because I've had draft classes where it's like 12 guys. I'm like, damn it, dude. And then plus like 3 UDFAs. I'm doing 15 guys. Now I might do 10, 11.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too mad at it, but I again, but I like to see a random Jets are on the clock. They traded fucking, McDermott to get back here. Sweet.
Somebody said, what about moving Bryce Hall for a pick? We discussed that last night, actually.
For what player on the board?
We were saying we'd do it for like a 3rd round pick, 4th round. You're starting to definitely not for a 5th or anything lower than that.
No, like if they love Brandon Smith for some reason and they like, okay, you think he could start at linebacker? Maybe, but I don't think I'm not trading Bryce Hall for anybody straight up in the draft right now. I would keep him. Let him develop. It's not bad to have depth, people. Like you're gonna have some injuries, and if you have some injuries, and then it's Eccles starting, or you can argue Eccles over Hall, but I'm okay with keeping him around. Like he's a good locker room guy too. Not gonna make a lot of noise. Come on.
Are they actually back from the commercial now?
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing like a choir to this. Maybe not.
God.
A bunch of people in white and a bunch of people in blue. It looks like a choir. I don't know. They're gonna start singing and shit. I'm gonna be mad. Okay, come on. We lost. Max Mitchell.
Square Peg just said Jeremiah was saying this year's draft is not as good. Most good players are gone by the 4th, so it's a good idea to trade late picks away.
All right. Here we come.
Okay.
But after this announcement, the Jets are done for the draft in 2022.
With the 117th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Michael Clemens, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Okay. I don't think that's another name that we really haven't heard.
Michael Clemens, over 6'5", 260.
He's 4th in pressures in the SEC. Dude, hold on. I'm just watching his highlights right now. I literally never heard of him.
A lot of times he's asked to play run to pass. He doesn't just get to cut it loose as a rusher. But it's all about strength and power. Not the most nimble, not a great bender. But to me,
Ronald Blair.
This guy plays hard.
Oh, wait, that's the player comp?
They're saying like he plays really hard, not great athleticism. Ronald Blair-ish.
Okay. I love me some players that can play hard. He's got really long arms, almost 35 inches.
What's his mock draftable?
Yeah, I'll share the screen so you can see it.
So now they have. So at the end, they have a combination of Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, Josh Martin, Huff, Curry, Solomon Thomas who can kick out, JFM who can kick out, and whatever that guy's name just was. Like
Michael Clemens.
How many fucking like, dude, their rush is going to be it's never going to be gassed. Like the rotation is ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not expect the end there at all. Passing on the linebackers, though, Kyle. What about passing on Clark, passing on Smith, passing on McKinley? They definitely need linebacker safety more than and D tackle more than the end. So is it too much?
It's just kind of interesting contrast what just happened right there and what just happened with the earlier pick 6 picks ago was, we kind of filled some needs earlier in the draft. Obviously, corner was a need, right, with drafting Sauce.
No, Kyle got booted. He'll come back on. Let's see. Vikings.
Sorry, I was
Caleb Evans. Okay.
Caleb Evans. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to stop sharing the screen. I ended up leaving the studio. What I was trying to say is, like, I'm not saying that the Jets. We need a need. Let's fill it here. But I think that Joe Douglas is definitely like a man of his word when he says, like, we're not varying from the board. Jeremiah, who obviously worked with him, said Joe Douglas, he's going to stick to his board. So it must be pretty high on both of those 2 players that they just drafted, because it's easier to kind of try to fill needs on day 3, but it's still pretty early on day 3. It is early on day 3, so
take and at the top, like, I definitely want to do BPA at a position of need, but you get into round 4, 5, 6, just take the best player. It really doesn't matter the position as much. Like, I know as fans we want them to fill every gap, but if you think this kid is going to be a player in a couple of years, and you're still concerned about Lawson, he can develop into a good edge rusher. Okay. I don't hate it. If he's the best one on the board, take him. So,
and it also makes you wonder too, like, what free agents that they've had contact with. Like, maybe they did try to sign a Schobert, or maybe they did try to sign a Sheldon Richardson. And maybe some of those players said, hey, you know what? We'll just talk after the draft. And, maybe it came from the player and the agent's perspective. Like, we'll just wait till after the draft to see if you guys will meet my number that I want. Maybe the Jets wanted to sign a guy like that, but just, kind of had to wait. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen. We'll see. But I think that some of these needs, safety, linebacker, interior defensive line, I think we'll start to see some signings in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the 2 non-negotiables are D tackle and linebacker. Like, I could live with Joyner as a free safety for a year. Not preferred. We don't love him, but he's a very low end starter, maybe.
Yeah.
Was GVR really released?
Really?
They
Let me
released
look on Twitter.
Griffin. They released Griffin. They didn't release GVR yet. I don't think.
It doesn't make sense that they would do it during the draft.
Trade GVR for Jetful to get his ass. Dude, if they can trade him for like a 7th right now, I would be so pumped.
Clemens, the guy they just drafted, is 24.
Hold on, what do you say?
The guy they just drafted is 24 years old.
Wow. A little old. A little old.
Jeff Ulbrich looked thrilled with this pick when they showed him in the war room. Okay.
He's in. Draft capital for next year. Michael N's asking, can you pull up the 2023 capital?
Sure. Although we don't know the exact places where they're picking.
No, but like I'm trying to think of. I think they just have like generic like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Maybe like missing like a mid-round pick somewhere for a trade.
Let's see.
Yeah, 3rd. Yeah, less than a 3rd for. Yeah, it's a good number. Don't want to get rid of them. Get rid of them now. Square peg. Hey, you said 4. Not sure anyone would offer a pick. I think somebody would offer a late round pick from him. It's just on potential. But I'm not at this point. Do I really want to waste, or do I really want to get like a 6th round pick from him? At this point, I'd rather just see what he has.
Yeah,
give him one last shot.
For a 6th. Yeah, I'm with you. So 2023, we have a 1st round pick. We have a 2nd round pick. We have a 3rd. We have a 4th. We have a 5th. We have a 6th.
We have
a 7th.
How many 6ths right there? It looks like multiple. How does that work?
Yeah, I'm not really understanding this site. Is this multiple 6th round picks?
I think we have multiple 6th.
Yeah.
Right? What is this site? They don't just tell you? What is its box?
let me try to go on a different
Take it
site.
off the stream. Yeah, find something where you can actually read it. Jesus.
It's the first thing that popped up.
God. Interesting. Who? Later, Tim Ward.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
Tim Ward's gone,
You
bro.
know what was the
Al
second
Phelps.
website to pop up on Google?
What?
Jets X Factor.
Wow, man. The Ravens are killing it.
Who they draft?
Armour Davis, the really athletic corner from Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. 6 foot, 4'3", 940. Wow. He's going to be good. I can just tell from the freaking Ravens. 7 sacks last year in the SEC. Not bad. Yeah, I think he was 3rd or 4th in pressures in the SEC too. So they do rotate the ends, right? You guys need depth there, right? Yeah. But they already have Martin, Curry, Huff. How many D linemen are they going to carry this year? Let's make a list.
They're going to carry a lot.
So we have, let's see, at D tackle. Let's just do D tackle first. You have Q, Rank, JFM, Thomas, Shepard.
Yep. Marshall.
That's the only guys I'll put in for now. And then D end, we have
Lawson,
Curry, or actually I'll do the starters. Lawson, JJ, Curry, Martin, Huff. What was this guy's name?
Clemens.
Michael
Clemens.
Is there anybody else you can think of? Lawson, JJ,
Tim
Curry.
Ward.
Yeah, but is he? There's no way, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
So you have like 6 DNs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 D tackles. You're gonna have to cut at least one of them. So what are we gonna get rid of? You think Shepard? But they're probably gonna sign a guy though.
I
right?
can't see Shepard's old too, man.
You think they cut Shepard? They carry Q, Rankins, JFM.
It's just
Solomon
strange that
Thomas,
they
and Marshall?
re-signed him. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he does make it. Like, why do you re-sign him? Like, he was even drafted by a different. He was drafted by a different front office. So if you re-sign him, I mean, maybe they see something.
Do we carry
played a
12 defensive
decent amount.
linemen?
It seems kind of crazy.
Because let's just say right now they're going to sign a guy, right? Like, just assume they sign a guy. If you sign a guy, that's 13 guys we listed. So even if you cut Shepard, that's 12 guys. And we even talk about like bringing Kyle Phillips back, maybe. I don't think it's going to happen now, right?
Probably not.
Panthers. Brandon Smith to the Panthers.
Your boy.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see what the chat's saying. He got arrested in 2021. Is that the guy we just drafted? Or
That might be part of the reason why he might have lost a season, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's as old as he is.
Okay, so BP is not going to complain. They can take whoever they want at this point. Yeah, at this point, you have to trust them.
I don't think too many websites have the 2023 picks listed.
Ooh. Jonathan Ruckert, the charges include unlawful carrying of a weapon, failure to identify, giving false information, less than 2 ounces of marijuana possession, and driving with an invalid license.
This was Michael Clemens?
I guess. Can you?
Okay, let me do a quick search
for that one, because you don't want him carrying a gun that he's not supposed to have, not giving the cops his name, probably, having weed on him, which whatever, I don't give a fuck about weed, and driving with an invalid license. Pat selection. Jack Jones, corner from Arizona State to the Pats. Time for UDFAs in 8 hours. Yep. Sticking to their board. I love it. Jonathan Ricker's really disappointed with today. Again, Jonathan, and this is like, it's the problem with these websites that do like these mock drafts. You do a name association, and you think that this guy, Zach Tom, that guy might have been more worth it than Max Mitchell, because people don't talk about Max Mitchell. But are these people who you're getting your opinions from really, really watching their tape?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely true. I see where it's from a local station in the Texas A&M area where that report came from. So, yeah. Good
afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon, Meatball Parm. Practice squad player, Jets mess is not about it in a 4th round. Caden says gotta believe in Jody has a plan to get linebacker free agency.
Some more from that report too. Also said that officers said they searched 2 backpacks found in the truck. One of them found a backpack. They had a 9mm handgun, and another backpack found several rounds of hollow point bullets.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But I don't know what state was that in, but
Texas.
Hollow points. Okay, yeah, I don't know what their laws are on hollow points, but
yeah. All right, I'm gonna go use the John. I'll be back in a moment.
To John, got you. Meatball Parm. I guess they really believe in. I thought you were saying you believe in them. Yeah, they could. Like I like Nasruddin coming out of Florida State. He needed a lot of time to develop. He was a very raw player. Sherwood, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like that pick at all last year. There's always going to be a pick I don't like. Maybe it is the Clemens, the DN they just took, but we'll see. I don't have enough faith in the combination of Nasruddin, Sherwood, and Quincy Williams right now to be the 2, 3, 4 linebackers. In my opinion, they really need one. They really, really need a linebacker. So maybe they trade back into the draft. Maybe they sign somebody. I don't know. Oh, there you go. I'd love to have Richardson back. He was a dog. Yeah, kind of like talked about that last night. I would be down with Sheldon Richardson. I would. Plays hard. I think Damon Clark had a concerning back injury this offseason, maybe a car accident. That's why he's still there. Yeah, I think some people threw that in, like some kind of like spine injury. Max Mitchell, RAS scores a 5.54. Clemens is even older than JJ. Didn't know it was possible. Yeah. Jack Mehoff. Jack Mehoff. Nice. Is that your name? Do you think we cut to sign UDFAs? I don't think you need you're not going to cut anybody to sign UDFAs. You bring in UDFAs, and if they prove themselves worthy of a roster spot, then you make cuts. Boomtown 49 or 89ers think they make a call to Clowney. I think he would still have, or I think he still has a little left on tank. Obviously, have to be the right price. Why though? At this point, you have Clemens, you have Huff, you have Curry, you have Martin, you have Lawson, you have JJ. Like how much is Clowney going to play? You don't want to pay Clowney 12, 10, 12, $13 million a year, whatever it's going to be not a starter. That's a little bit too much. Selection of Michael Clemens was from a Herndon trade. Okay, so pretty much a give me pick. Clemens will be 25 when the season starts. All right, so you probably don't think he's developing into a long-term DN. You think he's gonna be a really good guy? Maybe people are talking about him being a good run stuffer. Maybe he's a guy who comes in on first and second down, to conserve some of the pass rushers. They have 2 6th-round picks. The extra 6 is from the Blake Cashman trade. Okay, so 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2 6th, and a 7th. Joe Douglas most likely trades up those picks in the late first. Right hand column, yeah. Got you. Michael Clemens, RAS score 8.2. Okay. Polite is bound to get released. Polite's been off the team for 2 years. You're probably talking about Zuniga, Lewis. I get it. Maybe I just read it like that. But Zuniga's not making the team. Let's be honest. Zuniga's gone.
It's funny how we didn't even list Zuniga when we were talking about the defensive lineman.
He's gone, right?
Yeah, that tells you all you need to know. The fact
He's
that
gone.
they would select this guy and JJ. Did you see the look at your text message that I sent you? I sent this based on the discussion we had last night because you're a big fan of this type of stuff.
Uh-huh. Breece Hall with the Rock, that's a scary sight. Need that number 1. No, you don't. And DJ Reed already wants 1. Everybody wants 1.
Yeah, everyone wants 1. So
that's great. 5 games this year, I would bet a lot of money we're not going to win more than 5 games. Zuniga, yeah.
So what's the over-under that you'd have to take the under? So last year, what was the bet that you made that you lost the money on?
Oh, dude. I think the over-under was 4.5.
No, it was more than that. I think it was 5.5 or 6.5. No, it wasn't 4.5. I think it was 6.5. I think it was 6.5, and you took it.
I can go.
And we were like, I think that's easy money, man.
It might have been 5.5. Let's see, betting history. Raider selection. Oh, I forgot I had money in my account too because I hit the Thibodeau pick.
Oh, nice.
I put 100 using on the top 5. Running back Georgia,
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I probably put that bet in the summer sometime, so I got to scroll back quite a bit because I bet a decent amount. January 20. Oh, damn! Only in January. Let's see. What do you think about this comment, Kyle?
Oh, okay. So Nathan Colgrove says, really didn't understand the Clemens pick when there were linebackers, including Brandon Smith, left. Yeah. So here's my quick thoughts about it. Robert Saleh loves to run a rotation on the defensive line, right? Mm-hmm. And almost to the point where it's really frustrating last year. Like they would go like full drives. And some of these drives, like usually when you saw big runs popped off and stuff, it was when they were going against like the second stringer type of dudes. And sometimes rather than just rotating one guy who's maybe not first string, they would do the whole rotation of second string guys. Mm-hmm. And it was really frustrating. But anyway, clearly he likes to keep guys fresh. Playing some defensive line myself, obviously not a high level or anything like that.
Just a Ronald Blair level.
You need to be fresh to get to the quarterback. You need that burst. And, if you don't have a lot of energy, it's going to be really hard to get pressure on a quarterback and something like that. So he clearly wants to run with a big rotation of guys. And it makes it harder to do that when you have injuries and stuff as well. So they must really like this guy in terms of the talent that they see. So I think that they're just trying not to force picks as well. Like, okay, yeah, we have a linebacker need, but we really like this kid better than we like someone like Brandon Smith. So that's what we're going to do.
Red Clemens started at Sam linebacker in high school. I don't think he's athletic enough to play linebacker. If they're calling him an unathletic D end, I don't think he's going to be athletic enough to play linebacker. But run stuffer, probably. I think his role. I don't know if you were gone when I said this, Kyle, but a lot of teams you consider rotations for third down, get the pass rushers in. Maybe he's a first and second down guy. Keep the edge rushers fresh.
Good point.
Is there a situation where you want to the Jets D line struggled in terms of run stuffing last year? Carl Lawson is an average in the run game. At best, he's average.
Yeah,
So
that's
can
fair.
you rest him a little bit, get him fresh on third downs, putting this guy in, keep blanking on his name. And
Michael Clemens.
Clemens. Okay, got it. But having him and JJ on the edge for the first 2 downs, not all the time.
The 2022 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Isaiah Spiller.
He fell a little bit.
Running back from Texas A&M.
Yes, he did.
Spiller, Eckler, and Justin Jackson. It's a pretty good room.
Yeah. Honestly, based on what I saw about him,
I wasn't thrilled either.
Yeah.
Huff,
seems
Bradley,
like it
and
might be a
I
decent spot for him.
I don't think Bradley and I is making the roster. Jack me Hoff.
I have a feeling that's not his real name.
I also have a feeling it's not his real name. Yoshi, someone said on Twitter about Clemens' arrest. Love a good arrest. Need a convict to get to the quarterback. No comment. Sherwood sucks. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Sherwood either. Slow as fuck. The end of D tackle is at the end. Tough to get a weapons charge in Texas. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah,
one
you ain't
place you're
kidding.
probably not going to catch a weapons charge. I'm not so disappointed with the picks, just a little bummed that it's over for us. We don't know. I really don't think the Jets are done today. I think something's going to happen. Are we going to be done for the next 130 picks? Do you really like? I think the Jets at some point see a guy they like and make a trade. Like maybe next year's 6th for a 7th, or next year's 2-6 for a 5th, or something like that. Jets getting back in.
I can see it. We'll see. People keep talking about the honey badger too.
Travis Kelce burned dope in college too. I couldn't care less about people who smoke pot. The thing is though, if it's a rule for the NFL and you do it, then you're stupid. Do I care about the actual process of doing it? No, I couldn't care.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
obviously a rule that needs to be changed.
Oh, Cade York just went, wow, 4th round to the Browns.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to convince me that pot is worse than alcohol. It's just the how we've kind of viewed it the last 30 years. But people get high, they want to eat taquitos and watch Animal Planet. You get
So
drunk,
Andrew
want to
G, I
go
think
to the
is
strip
that
club.
Andrew Golden? They're doing the post-draft interview already, so they're definitely done today. I don't think they're definitely done if they're doing a post-draft.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to do the post-draft press conference and then just turn their TVs off. Like I'm sure they have the guys who are still really high on their board right now who if they keep falling, they'll
I
consider.
would say it
trading back
goes
into
to
the
6th round. Yeah, 6th round, and like, oh wait, we had this guy as like somebody we would
Your 4th
consider
round pick.
potentially in the 4th. They might
Yeah.
get back in.
Yeah, then hey, trade both of our 6 for a 6 this year, next. Like it can happen. It can happen. I really liked Sherwood until he got injured. We were hearing his name quite a bit early on. I don't know. The Panthers game, he had a couple of bad plays that I pointed out. I don't know if it was for any good reasons. So
Yeah, I think that you just heard his name a lot in camp and stuff because, listen, he's a player, high effort. He talks a lot. I assume he's good for the coaching staff to like. He might be good in the classroom aspect of things, but in terms of the talent on the field, it's just not there. So,
Dolphins are picking. I just can't understand what this guy's saying.
let's hope it's a horrible player.
The newest market for the Miami Dolphins. With the 125th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Eric Ezukama, wide receiver.
Rusty. That's going to hurt Rusty.
Rusty Spooner.
That's his boy. Eric Yukizama. All right. Alex Hunt is asking if you had to grade the draft now, what would you both give it? B+.
Okay, so this is according to Connor Hughes. Joe Douglas says Michael Clemens is a day 1 or a day 2 talent. Jets were able to get him on day 3 because of the off-the-field concerns. Based off of their work, the Jets aren't worried about them.
Okay. So is that a guy we didn't hear about because he was falling on draft boards because of legal problems? And they're willing to take that risk on character in the 4th round?
If he's not the greatest athlete in the world and he has these, off the field concerns as well, I have to imagine that if he got drafted where he got drafted, and apparently he is a good talent, that he actually has some pretty good pass rush moves, which I like. I like guys who actually know how to rush the passer. So he's going to be,
he doesn't look as stiff as I originally thought, looking at like some plays of him people are putting up on Twitter.
Okay. I didn't see those.
Yeah, maybe a little actually. Really, like he really
Stiff?
his hips look tight.
Okay.
Yeah, they look tightish, but that's fine. I'm not even gonna highlight that one.
People keep talking about Quan Alexander in the chat. Yeah, that seems to be more realistic now based on how the draft went. So we'll see.
According to Andrew Golden, he's 6'5", 263 pounds. What's his all you do is pull.
No, that's right. He's almost at that's right. Yeah, 35-inch arms that's like 89th percentile.
I don't think he shot somebody. Let's not get crazy here.
Yeah.
I think we got to get rid of one of our running backs. We'll get rid of them. What do you mean? Like, are we going to cut one? Yeah, we're P. Ryan or Ty Johnson is going to be cut. Like, you're only going to carry 4. You're not going to carry 5. So,
Ty Johnson has a better shot to make it than P. Ryan.
Yeah, over under was
like at least Ty Johnson. There were times last year where he caught a couple. It was like a broken down play, and he would catch the ball. He'd come out of the backfield late, catch the ball, and then he would make something happen. He had like a pretty nice receiving touchdown against the Colts. P. Ryan, you've pretty much almost never saw anything from P. Ryan.
Dude, and like, no, I've seen it. It's been bad. Like, he'd come in and be like, his vision is terrible, which it wasn't that bad at Florida. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't translate.
Yeah. Sometimes, those NFL holes, they close up a lot quicker. You have to think a lot quicker and stuff. And
oh, you know what? Good point. That's what I'm going to do right now. So I have $180 left in my account on DraftKings. I was just like, I should make another bet. I think the Jets over under is 5.5, and I'm going to put $186 on that. Let me see. Where is the NFL? How do I get to team futures? I forget. I'm not good with that stuff.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to look at the chat. Let's see.
You do that. Team futures.
Okay. Solid just said, quote, if Mekhi can get back here healthy, ... end quote. That's not a very flattering quote. Don't like to hear that. It's crazy to think that injury happened back in September. It's almost May now, and we're still talking about if Mekhi Becton can be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we're talking about Jamison Williams, who had a knee tear in January, and there's not an if question. It's just a when question.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
See.
Yeah, and if Max Williams or whatever his name is going to be a few. If they still have big concerns about Mekhi, then you really got to start to seriously try to make that push to re-sign George Fant. All right, good for you, man.
Let's see it.
I was really confident last year that you'd win that money. But I'm probably even more confident now. I'm definitely more confident now. First of all, it's one less game. Second of all, Zach in year 2, and the roster is just better.
It'll only win me 3
more playmakers.
186 to win, 145. I'm cool. I'm cool with $145 free bucks. It's cool. Let's see. What's everyone think of Garrett Wilson? By the way, I'm gonna start. I lounged again. It's like Jets are done. I'm lounging, but I'm gonna share the invite for the stream. If you guys want to come on and talk some football, talk about the Jets draft, opinions on guys, least favorite picks, how guys fit, etc. Join. If not, it is what it is. But I want to give you guys the option if you want to, because the last time I talked to you guys, I was hammered, so I don't even really remember doing it. Wrong, Harold. Oh yeah. So Garrett Wilson, really high upside. Again, I don't think he's an elite route runner of any sort right now. But I think the Jets needed to come away with a receiver, whether that be through trade or through the draft. They saw Garrett Wilson at 10. They were confident in grabbing him, and then I guess trying to trade up for what's his name, Jermaine Johnson. Apparently, they were trying from all the way from 15 until they got him at 26 to trade up. So that was their move. I think realistically, like the process, would I have rather have grabbed like Carl Loftus at 10? Like, let's again just being honest, Carl Loftus or Jermaine Johnson at 10 and risk a little bit more with receiver, probably. But really high upside player. Yeah.
And I'm with you on all the potential criticisms of him, but his film is fun, right? You watch it and it's like, that he's going to make some really nice catches, you know that he's going to have some really nice runs after the catch this year. He's probably going to have a couple of really nice touchdowns, and they're going to be quite memorable. So he's going to be a fun player, but probably will also be frustrating at times. So Joe asked me yesterday what was my second favorite pick after Sauce, because clearly heading above Sauce was number one for me, and I said Wilson at 2. And a big reason why I say that too is because
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I am.
You're
That's not good. Oh, the big reason why I said that is because it is help for Zach Wilson, right? So anyway, yeah, let's get some people on. Why not?
Let's see. I think I shared the link. Did I just share it? I don't know. Let's see. We got some chat still. What's your overall thoughts of the draft likely over for the Jets? Good, B+. You filled a lot of holes. I'm not thrilled that you walked away with no linebacker in this draft. I could compartmentalize not getting a safety because of landing Lamar or having LaMarcus Joyner come back this year, but not landing a linebacker when your options are Quincy Williams, Sherwood, Nasruddin. Not thrilled. So do they sign a Quan Alexander? Do they sign one of these guys like you're saying, Schobert? Do they sign maybe Sheldon Richardson or somebody to be more of a run stuffer? I don't know. But Kyle, we're gonna bring on Lil Jet. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good show. Big fan. You guys have a lot of insight. I appreciate it. I'm really happy with this draft, man. I really am. We freaking nailed it. I mean, it's amazing to me how we I was so nervous before the draft, but dang, I have to give it. I mean, I have to give it an A+. And yeah, man, I'm excited.
So obviously the first round was really exciting in terms of you grabbed the three biggest positions of not three biggest positions of need, but receiver and DN were the two biggest needs that the Jets had. Everybody was talking about it. You address both of those. Kyle dropped off again on the way, but you addressed both of those positions in the first round, and in my opinion, you grabbed the second best player in the draft. We've been saying on the show for 3-4 months. So. Obviously the first round was really exciting to you. The second round followed that up with getting Breece Hall and Ruckert. You were just excited about those picks as well.
Yeah, I really like the Breece Hall pick. At first, I kind of wanted a center or something like that, but I'm gonna have to put in my trust with Joe Douglas. Plus, I think Breece Hall, because Michael Carter kind of gets injured a little bit. I think he gets a little injury bug, so I think that'll be a good 1-2 punch. And that guy got he got sick moves, and it'll just be good for Zach. He could just dump it. And, it's just our run game is going to be kind of crazy now, I think. I kind of think, because the way our offense looks, I mean, if it's all put together, I think it's going to look a little crazy with all that talent, And I think Breece Hall kind of, he's pretty dynamic just based off the highlights. You know what I mean? And damn, they could do they could do so much, so many trick plays and stuff like that. I feel like our West Coast offense is very it's hard for, young players to grasp, but I feel like when they do, it's going to be a problem for teams. And now we got crazy talent, and we're crazy deep at wide receiver. Crazy deep. Our D line is crazy deep. We might have the deepest D line in the league.
So expectations, obviously, you're talking about the offense being obviously really good. So where did they finish? In the rankings? Are they the top 10 offense, top 15? What are you happy with? With relatively not down to earth. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but with realistic expectations. That's the word I'm looking for.
I think at the end of the day, they could hit 8.
Okay. Good number. What about
because in the second half of the season, that's when I think we'll start really looking good, because we're too young, too fast. Some of these teams, they got a lot of veteran players. We're deep. So I think we'll start to I think we could kind of mess up some of these older teams, because of just the youth and the speed, like, and especially when we put it all together, it's kind of on what's his name, our OC. You know, if he could
LaFleur.
just put LaFleur, if he could just put everything together, and but he's kind of soft, man. Like he's kind of soft on rookies. Like I feel like he doesn't yell at him or something, but when he gets them, you know, to like the way we looked against Tampa, like that's the potential I saw when we played against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
The way the offense just looked like on some Joe Montana type status. Like I don't want to put it there, but it kind of looked. It was all calm and cool.
No, he was he was legit that game, and he didn't have Tomlinson, he didn't have Breece Hall, he didn't have Wilson, he didn't have Corey Davis.
Let's be real. We were kind of tanking last season a little bit. I think. Like I don't know if you guys
wasn't good.
I don't know if you guys believe in the tank word, but I kind of think we were because we were just not playing guys at the end of the season, you know. So I don't think we're gonna tank this season. I think we're gonna just go for it this time. Development's first. I feel like development's first, but I think some of these guys are ready to plug. Like Sauce is a plug-in guy. Breece is a plug-in guy. I think Garrett's a plug-in guy. Jermaine might need some development.
Yeah, he does as a pass rusher. But early on, like if you're gonna play him, you know, first and second down, and then on third down, you're gonna sub in Curry or Huff or something like that until he gets his pass rush a little bit more refined. Like you said, with the depth of the defensive line, it's crazy. But before we let you go, do you have any record predictions? Like right now, you said it could be 8, but the over under right now is at 5.5. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But if the over under was like 7.5, are you putting your money on the over or the under with that?
I think I'm gonna put over, just because I kind of believe in Zach. You know, I think Zach will make some strides, and if he does, then we'll definitely be over that. Yeah. So I believe in Zach. That's all I gotta say. So I think it's over.
As do we.
And the Patriots and the Dolphins, I don't know, man. Like Dolphins seem like kind of a mess. They seem a little dysfunctional. Bill Belichick is not doing. I'm not sure about him. The Bills lost their their offensive coordinator. So
yeah,
we might be okay. We might be okay. I don't want to jinx it though, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All
Definitely.
right, appreciate it, man.
God,
I didn't catch his name. What was his name?
It was just Little Jet. I don't know what his actual name was. Little Jet called. I think this is his thing. Sonic? That's not Sonic. Shadow? Is that his name? You have is it Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow are the three like Sonic looking dudes? Did you not play like N64 and stuff?
No, of course I know. Well, Knuckles is the red guy with the long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Tails is Tails. He's the yellow guy.
Oh shit! You got to know Tails.
I don't know about. I guess Shadow sounds right, but I'm not sure.
I think that's it. Okay. Next on the docket is Kyle's boy, Harold. What's going on, Harold?
What's up, man? Just want to talk real quick. Not going to take up too much time. I'm tired, man. It's been a long 3 days, man.
You're tired. Oh, you're tired. All right.
I've been up with you, man. Don't get it twisted. I ain't miss a minute yet. So I've been up. But yeah. But
Harold, whose jersey are you wearing?
Oh, this is Zach Wilson. I said because the whole season's based on Zach Wilson, so that's two right there. So you know that's why I got it on. So just to kind of say, hey man, this whole draft and everything we did is about Zach Wilson. So that's the theme for today. But I just wanted to ask you guys. You know, the draft was over. We went, I think, more than most people thought as far as the offense. I think people thought we would do a little bit more defense. So how do you guys feel like that? How do you feel like Shotty's going to pay dividends, or do you think we should have paid a little more attention to some of the defensive deficiencies?
Kyle, go ahead. I took the last call, so.
I think the defense got a lot better this weekend, if we're being honest, right? Adding Sauce and then getting a rusher who I'm not exactly the highest on, but you know the upside is definitely there. And then you drafted some more defense too. I think that the defense is going to take a big step up this year. So I thought it was a very balanced draft when you kind of look at it. I mean, they gave some pieces to help Zach out, and then on defense, you kind of filled some needs, and you got some high-level talent. So, I mean, I said A- yesterday for the draft. These picks today were, you know, I guess a little bit questionable, and I don't really know too much about these players as much as I did about the players that went yesterday. But I think in totality, probably stick around A- for the draft in total. So,
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay. I mean, like you said, the picks today, I mean, I knew about Max Mitchell. Clemens, I hadn't really done too much background work. I just didn't think we were going to take somebody with character issues. So I had read a little bit of his profile, so I didn't look at him. So, but Max Mitchell, I thought he was okay, but I thought there were better options if they wanted to go offensive tackle. But, obviously I'm not the GM. I put in the chat, we're going to trust those guys. They had a great 2 first days. So, and last year's draft. So you can't really, look at people. I hadn't known a word about Brandon Echols, and I consider myself pretty much, going through everybody. So not to even know the guy's name, and we picked him, and he was, still like Joe said yesterday, a decent backup level player. People try to pump him up to more than that, but a decent backup, 4th cornerback in the NFL from a 6th round pick, a dart throw. You can't be mad. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully these guys can pan out as well. I'm kind of with you, Kyle. I think the defense did get a lot better, despite the fact that I think everybody wanted a linebacker or safety or both. But like I said, I think we'll trust those guys and kind of go from there. But definitely excited. The over under. I know you guys asked that question to the previous guy, so my over under is definitely 8. Right now 7.5, I guess. So I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over. So I would say like 8, or so wins. I think we have outside chance at the playoffs, but I think that depends on if Zach can play all 17 games, and if he just takes one. And like for me, I'm not the person that say he has to take some giant step. The level that he played at the end of the season, I think from a film perspective, is a good first step. And if he can build off of that, if he works on this offseason, building a little more rapport with his receivers, and then the second part, just working on his fundamentals. I think that's the only thing that really let him down last year was his fundamentals just were a little too erratic to be what we need him to be as far as a franchise quarterback. So if he works on those 2 things, comes back into the season, a little bit more fundamentally sound, and continues to progress from what he did at the end of last year, I think we might have an outside chance at the playoffs. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's just of course, like the Jets are getting ready to compete now, and the AFC is absolutely stacked. Like, of course, like ridiculously stacked. But
our offense looks good. Our offense looks good. I'm excited for our offense. I think we got a chance to really kind of do a little bit of old school stuff on people this year. Kind of, run the ball. Run it down their throat, play action. Zach taking 25 to 30 passes a game. I think that's the recipe that we need to follow. Explosive plays, get that YPA up. I think that'll be the key this year. If we can get that up, going down the field, keeping people on their toes, and then pounding down with Breece Hall and Michael Carter, I think we'll be fine. So that's pretty much it for me, guys.
What are your, and before we let you go, what are your expectations for the offense? Like, I know maybe a little bit old school, but like in terms of like efficiency, like where do they rank? Because I get they added a lot of talent, but with that being said, it's a lot of young talent too. So they're going to have some hiccups. We have to expect that, being realistic. So, maybe they start a little bit slow, but where do they finish? Like, are they a top half of the league offense right now?
I think, yes, and I'll say why very briefly. So my thing is, I think I'm actually a little bit different. I think they're not that young on offense when you look at it. I think the defense is somewhat young, but the offense to me is not. I don't know. The offense not that young. I mean, you look at the O-line.
Skill players.
Yeah, the skill players are a little young, but the tight ends aren't young. Running back can be young. That's not a big deal in the league. So even though that's the young position with Breece and Michael Carter, running back should be a young position in the NFL, because if not, those guys can't really do it. So really, we just got Elijah Moore going his second year and Garrett Wilson. Those are the 2 young guys. But I think Elijah, last year was a 1,000-yard guy if he could have stayed healthy all season. And if Zach could have got his ish together earlier in the season, I think he would have easily got 1,000 yards last year. So I'm not that concerned with the youth, because the tight ends are young. I mean, not young, and the line is not that young. So I think we'll be pretty good. I think we're gonna get up to a decent start. I would say DVOA wise, I would say 12 would be my guess for next year. With the line, because of the old line and because of the tight ends that we added, I think it's 12.
I think it's not that unrealistic. Like, I know people might think you're a homer for that, but they finished I think the last couple of weeks here like 18th. And now you add, healthy Elijah Moore, healthy Corey Davis, a better defense to support the offense, a better offensive line, a better running game. Why can't they be 12th? I don't think that's crazy at all. But Harold, 1, appreciate you calling in. 2, appreciate you sticking it out. You got another couple of hours. You look gassed, so maybe it's just on the background taking a nap.
I already went out with my daughter before you started. We went to the park. She runs track, plays soccer, so
Nice.
Look out for her one day. You know, she's something else. So,
Nice.
hopefully one day, I'll be in the stands cheering. But I went out with her. She had to do some soccer and then did some track training this morning. So I'm already gassed, man. I'm tired.
Take a nap. Just have us on in the background. It's still a view, so it's okay.
I appreciate it. I don't do it. I'm gonna be a soldier. I'll take a nap after.
Yeah,
all right, man. Take it easy, guys. Appreciate everything, Kyle. Take it easy, man.
Harold's right. Like the season really is depending on Zach Wilson, man, because
of course,
we have what's the weaknesses on offense. We kind of talked about this yesterday, right? The line is solid. Now there is the question mark with Becton, right? Especially Salah's comment about him just before doesn't have me, that makes me a little nervous, right? But now we got depth at the tight end, right? We got multiple receivers that can make plays now, right? We got multiple running backs that can make plays now. Zach, the talent is definitely there. So if he comes anywhere close to his potential, we could be definitely a team to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah. So let's keep going down in the chat. Like I said, the phone lines, the thing is open again. Some people aren't comfortable talking and like calling in. You could. I don't care if you don't have audio. I'm not going to shit on you. Let's see. Wilson is capable of being better than Diggs. Is that enough? Okay. Let's be a little bit realistic here. So you're saying his ceiling is better than Diggs, who's a top 5 receiver in the NFL, and his floor is a very good two very good, solid number 1 receivers. He's going to be at worst Calvin Ridley or DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about both Calvin Ridley and Stephon Diggs are excellent route runners, and I don't know that I would. You cannot say that at this point in time, Garrett Wilson is an excellent route runner. So, and route running is probably the most. And there's a lot of things that come into route running. I mean, like people use that as like a very broad term, a catch-all term, but there's lots of little nuances to that. But when Wilson struggles with releases, his breaks, his pacing in his routes, all that stuff, can be problematic at times. So, could he be better than those guys? He could, but if he can get to where those guys are at,
he has the athleticism. He has the athleticism to be up to par with those guys, but there's a lot of nuance in route running. He has to learn to be Diggs or Ridley. Like those guys are elite route runners. Like we're talking elite compared with the body control they have is why they're all, Diggs is what, top 5 right now. I think Ridley healthy is easily probably at least top 20, top 25.
Yeah.
DJ Moore is a number 1, I would still probably argue top 25 for him. If we really went through all the receivers at the minimum 32, he's one of the best, or he's a number 1 in the league. So to say that's his floor, I'm not there. Because again, for every DJ Moore, Ridley, Diggs, all these guys, there are Jalen Reagors out there. So let's just hope he's a good starter for now, not a superstar number 1.
By the way, wasn't your boy Marcus Coleman a big Rager fan coming out of school?
Who you say? What did you say?
Your boy Marcus Coleman. He was a big Rager fan coming out of school, right?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I think he was. Ask him about that next time you talk to him.
Yeah, I don't remember if he was or not. Spiller is dogwater. I think Harrison was in here yesterday saying how much he hates Spiller too. So sign Honey better than the. Would you sign him, Kyle? Like, do you think they make another big splash?
I think he wants big money. I think he wants like really big money.
They have the room to do so. Like, if they could have gotten, AJ Brown or one of these guys, Debo, like they clearly have money to move it around. But is it worth moving around money and potentially hurting you in future years to sign a guy who's going to be here for a year or two?
I mean, if I can get him on a 1-year deal for a reasonable number, I would do it. But I don't think that's. I mean, if we're talking maybe like 6 or something like that, but he's gonna want. He wants a lot more than that.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say my reasonable number. I was gonna say like, which is starting the conversation. I think for him is 1 year, like $10-11 million.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's one and you put it all for this year, but you still got to allocate some room, and you had 3 first-round picks this year, so you figure maybe your draft class might cost you a little bit more than usual. I don't know. You always need to have that cap space in case injuries happen and you have to sign guys in season. So you don't want to get too close to the cap number. So I don't know.
B plus, Sully. I'm at a B plus. Now all we need. Quan Alexander actually played 12
So you were at an
games
A
last year.
minus last night, but today brought you to a B plus.
Yeah. I don't think they needed another. Like I'm okay with the tackle again. We don't know who Max Mitchell is, but with a need at linebacker to me, with even you can convince me of a backup, even interior offensive lineman, safety, like there were even like again Calvin Austin, like another receiver. I much rather take that. Like I think the D line room is stacked, like with backup DNs. Like he's not going to start. Is he even going to get reps over Curry and Huff? You know, again, maybe they're third down guys, and he's a guy to rotate on early downs to keep our real studs rested. But yeah, I didn't love that pick. You know, so yeah, B plus, which is great. That's great. That's a great. That's a great draft. A minus. You know, but yeah, it's the D end. You know, again, I like Drake London more than Wilson. I think Wilson attends a little bit of a reach, but I get it. Taking a running back at 36, not the biggest fan, you know. So I think there's a couple of like B grades, like B minuses between Wilson, Breece, that brought it from the first round being an A plus overall, dropped it a little bit. B plus is good.
Yeah. Somebody, it was actually the guy who was on with us earlier, Lil Jet 7. He said, "Is Earl Thomas done?"
I haven't heard of Earl Thomas in
Yeah. Well, I mean,
months.
he's been out of the league for a couple of years now.
Yeah, you don't want him.
Even with the Ravens, he was not the Earl Thomas that we saw in Seattle. And it seemed to me that whole situation, why he even left the Ravens, like, was really strange. So it's also like, is his head totally in the game and all that kind of stuff? I don't know that I'd want to go there, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm not with that. Especially like how he left the Ravens and the Seahawks and all this stuff. Like I don't think so.
The whole middle finger as he's getting carted off the field. And
yeah, what would y'all have done differently in terms of player picks? Honestly, again, I'm not gonna lie. Carl Loftus at 10 would have been my pick and trade up for a receiver. I was hoping London was going to be there at 10. Obviously, he went 8 because he is the best receiver in this draft to me. But I'm not mad at the Wilson pick. It's a B. But I would have said Carl Loftus or an edge rusher. Even like Jermaine Johnson, I would have probably liked more. Again, do not Monday morning quarterback me. I'm just saying about the process. I think Jermaine Johnson probably would have been a better pick there. And then you trade up for a receiver. But at the same time, Joe Douglas might have been sitting there and realized, again, with the value that these receivers are getting on these contracts, they're going to go early. And you had one go at 8, and he thought that there's going to be a receiver run. So he valued getting that receiver over getting a D end because we cannot fuck around with Zach Wilson. So it's a good pick. You know, would I have done something differently? Maybe, but I still get the process. It's a good pick. Jermaine Johnson, slam dunk at 26. 36. Would I have taken Muma or Brisker? Yeah. And then maybe drafted a running back a little bit later. But again, at the same time, what's the common thing between those, the pick 10 and pick 36 now? If he decides, hey, again, Muma's great, Brisker's great, I need to help fucking Zach Wilson. You give him a stud running back with another stud running back you have on the roster. Again, don't love it, but I get it. Past that, this pick, Max Mitchell. Okay, I'll benefit of the doubt with a tackle. Would I have taken Smith over the D end? Yeah, I would have. So there's a few picks I would have done a little bit differently, but overall, still really like it.
Yeah, somebody's still talking about trading for Calvin Ridley next year, and I think that they're probably talking about that in terms of maybe moving on from Corey Davis. And I don't know that you do that because who's your big X receiver, right? Like you don't really have one. So even if you wouldn't have to trade a lot for him, and even if Corey Davis ends up not working out here because of injuries or whatever, you don't like the contract anymore.
I think typically I think we're the people who are like too hard on players, but I think that a lot of people there's too much negativity when you bring up the names of McGovern and Corey Davis.
Yeah.
For Jets fans, like I get it. He had a couple of drops. That's not a thing that's like he's had some drops in his career, some drop problems, but it's not as pronounced as it was last year. So you think he's going to go back to the mean? And again, $12 million is a good contract for a guy who is I consider to be a solid number 2, and I think that's what he is. And now you bring in Wilson, even less pressure on him. So,
yeah.
So I don't know what this is talking about. Since somebody's, I don't know what's going on over there. Oh, you're right. Brandon Shell will be the correct signing. Dude. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad move at all. I know he improved with the Seahawks, and Seahawks fans are relatively happy with him. So you can get him for a couple $1 million. Get him. I still wouldn't be mad at it. I'd rather have Brandon Shell and Max Mitchell than Connor McDermott and Chumadoga have 2 good backups. I don't like skipping out on offensive line backups. That's an important position. Now, do I think they should pay Ben Ajalana $6 million a year again? Probably not. Rise of the New York Jets says, can I not adjust this?
Like how big it is?
Chat size? Yeah, I guess not. Thanks for that info. I will see your bet and raise that bet $1,000. If the Jets won 4 games with that shitty team last year, the Jets are winning way more than 5.5 games this year. If I had more in my account, I would do it too. I that's not a lot. 5.5 wins. This team is better than 5.5 wins. Are you sharing the screen for anything specific?
I was just gonna pull up the Breece Hall clips and just put it on in the background.
Oh, okay. Do that in a little bit though, because we have almost 30 minutes of chat to get through. So,
all right.
Fant should he resign regardless? He was good, and let's say we go tackle next year.
Sub in at tight. George Fant's not playing tight end.
Yeah, I don't think you're signing George Fant and then you're going to draft another tackle. I think listen, I'm cool signing Fant now because I think he's proven himself. Do I think he doesn't get $20 million a year? No, but he's probably going to get.
I mean, he signed for 10 last time, and
he might get $15-16 million a year,
as he should.
Yeah, and at this point, I sign him, and then you're waiting on Becton. Like the thing with Fant is he's 29, he's going to be 30. Tackles last until when now, Kyle? 34, 35, they're fine. Some guys until 37, 38, 39. And he doesn't have
rare
a lot of
exceptions.
Yeah, but he's also a guy who was new to football, didn't play a lot with the Seahawks, and hasn't been injured really. So he has plenty of tread left on the tires, plenty to be good.
Yeah, well, he did get hurt last year, so
yeah, but it wasn't a serious injury.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, any good? Does anybody have any good nuggets from the press conference? I can't see it. So, how soon are we how soon are we after jersey numbers are decided? Are we purchasing? So yeah, I'm getting Sauce with his number on it. It's gonna say Gardner, but I don't want Gardner. I want just Sauce in the back.
All right, so you're gonna get a custom then?
Yeah, it's just custom black Sauce, and then again, I think wow, the Pats drafted a quarterback, Bailey Zapp from Western Kentucky. Dude, honestly, I might do Ruckert. I might get drunk one day and do Ruckert.
You would be the type to do that.
I would. Yeah. Oh, that means, but cool. Oh, look.
Well,
Kyle.
To me, it seems like you're a little impulsive, especially when you're drinking.
Yeah. At least this one isn't boys and girls. At least one's best adult dating site. So that's a positive. Since we're going into adults now. That's great. How do you I know there's ways to do like subscribers only chats, but I don't know how to do it. If anybody else knows how to do that, let me know so I could not have that because I don't think they subscribe. They gotta have a lot of faith in Hamza. I like Hamza coming out of Florida State. Like, what are your feelings on him? Do you think he could step up this year and maybe fill that will role, or at least maybe play 40% of the linebacker snaps?
He could, but I don't know. I mean, it's still kind of a projection because he was kind of at his best when we saw him playing safety, and he is a little bit on the smaller side. I mean, listen, he is kind of like a lightning rod. I remember when I was watching your film breakdown of him, you're like, this is, in a way, this can kind of remind you of Jamal Adams, the way that he comes in on hits and stuff. I don't know. I wasn't impressed when I saw him last year on the field. So could he maybe fill that will linebacker role? I mean, listen, the staff kind of likes him a little bit, but I wouldn't be betting on it. So we'll see.
Somebody just brought it up that, wow, Steelers picked Calvin Austin too, another receiver. Dude.
Steelers and those receivers, man.
Yeah. So the Pats drafted Bailey Zapp and Sam Howell's still on the board.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? A lot of people were thinking he was going to be a first-round quarterback.
His film wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep moving on. Kyle went to the adult dating lights. Yeah. Yo, this
When I saw that, I
hit
started
about
laughing.
four good starters. Yeah, and I think Ruckert in 2 years, if he develops properly, should be a starter. You know, after how long is Uzama realistically going to be here?
If I'm being complete, and Uzama was like a 5th-round pick in his own right.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, like, and I didn't watch Uzama's college tape, but based on what I've seen from Uzama since he's been in the league and just watch, and I wasn't a fan pre-free agency. Every time someone mentioned his name, I was nope, not interested. Then they signed him. Okay, let me give him a fair chance. Let me watch him again. Still don't like the player. Ruckert, definitely higher upside for sure.
Mm-hmm. Joe, you said the same thing about the over/under last season. You lost your bet. True, but I did not expect the Jets to get destroyed with injuries again. Like it was 5.5 or whatever it was. Could they have won another game if they?
I think it was 6.5.
Was it? Even if 6.5, like Lawson and Becton and Joyner and Mosley for a couple of games. Like there were so many injuries, dude. Zach for a couple of games, like brutal. So, his name is Eugene.
Yeah, I know.
Noted.
I saw that. And you're right. It was Shadow.
Shadow. Oh, it is Shadow. Okay, yeah. Look at that recognition. Jets stay healthy. 10 games. Jordan Kelly. That's my absolute ceiling for the Jets. 10 wins. Absolutely.
I think it'd be quite hard in the AFC to get much more than that.
Yeah, that's the absolute ceiling. The AFC is way like who do the Jets play division wise?
You're asking who they play in the division?
Like other divisions. Like, did they play the West, the North?
Let's see. So last year it was the NFC South. This year, is it the NFC North? I think it's the NFC North this year.
Yeah, so we play. Yeah, so we play the AFC North and the NFC North, right? So we have Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, and then you have the Jaguars. That's just us finishing in 4th, and then you have the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions. So, you know, I think there's games in there that should be wins for the Jets. Like, I'm not trying to do a schedule prediction right now, but I think we're all going to agree that the Jets are a better team than the Jaguars, the Bears, and the Lions. You know, could they steal a game versus the Pats? Yes. Could they beat the Steelers with Mitch Trubisky? Yes. Could they beat the Geno Smith or whoever else led Seahawks? Drew Lock. I don't think they're a very good team. So there are some winnable games. The Vikings.
Yeah.
You know,
and the Dolphins too. I don't see. We could even potentially beat those guys twice. I mean, I'm not going to predict it to happen, but it could happen. You know, when Harold was on before, one thing that popped in my mind, and I meant to say it, but I kind of forgot once.
Wow, the Ravens got Isaiah Likely. It's a good pick.
Okay. PFF's going to give them an F.
Oh, yeah.
I got an F for taking them in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was thinking that I don't think it's crazy to say that we might have the second best offense in the division this year. I know that the Dolphins got Tyreek now, which I just don't think he's a great fit in that offense now. Granted, you know, McDaniel, a lot of people seem to be really high on him. So they could very well have a good offense. But you have to imagine that the Patriots offense is going to be, I mean, you know, losing Shaq Mason. You know, is Mac Jones really going to take a huge step? He'll take a step up for sure. But I could see the Jets having the second best offense. I obviously can't see them surpassing the Bills offense this year, but I would not be surprised if the Jets have the second best offense.
I think they win at quarterback. You know, I have the faith in Zach Wilson to be better than Tua. Shoot me. You know, I think their running backs are better. I think that their tight ends are arguably better because Gesicki's really a receiver to me. He's not really a tight end. So tight end, O-line,
can't block
running
for
backs.
Shit.
You know, I can't. So so quarterback better, running back better, tight end better, offensive line easily better. The Dolphins have the Jets and receiver talent. You know, like obviously with Hill and Waddle, like they win there, and Gesicki. I'm gonna kind of throw Gesicki into that group. So I could see it. Packers got Zach Tom. A lot of people wanted him. Keep moving on. Sauce brings a shutdown. I don't think he's necessarily the thickest to shut down tight ends. Could it happen? Could you see a couple reps? Like we did see Bryce Hall on Waller that one game.
Yeah.
So,
If you
could
were
it
going to,
happen?
I mean, like if you were going against, let's say, like last year when we went against the Falcons and they were to split, why am I forgetting his name? Florida boy out wide. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you put Sauce on him, but be kind of a rare thing.
Pitts. You're talking about Pitts?
Yeah.
Florida boy. Yeah. Season hinges on coaches. You guys sold on them. I really like what LaFleur did after the first couple of weeks of the season. I'm not necessarily sold on Old Brick, but I like the system they're running. I like the 3-4 system. I like the cover 3, cover 4 system, cover 6. There's some other obviously versions of variations of quarters that they run. Man coverage on third down. I think they're fine. I trust Joe Douglas and Saleh in terms of like their leadership and how they develop players and how they treat players. So on the field, do I think Saleh is like some Brandon Staley like we brought up last night? Probably not. Like you haven't heard about him like that, but I think he's the leader the Jets need. So I'm confident in Jets coaches.
Yeah, I'm not equating their personalities or anything like that, but in some ways, Saleh's kind of like Mike Tomlin, where he might not be like the genius that if you put him on a whiteboard, he's going to draw up the craziest scheme in the world, and he's just going to break your brain with how much he knows about the game. But there's a lot that comes into being a coach at this level. There's a lot with navigating players and personalities, for example, I'm not saying that Kyle Shanahan did this or anything like that, but like, you're talking about guys that make a lot more money than you, and you don't want to, at this level in this day and age, you have to kind of walk a fine line of, loving a player, but not, coddling them too much, but then, not hurting their feelings as well, because then they might say, I want to get a trade or whatever. And I think Saleh is really good at kind of like building a team and rapport with players. And I think he's good at evaluating talent. And I do think he is smart. I think he's good at handling the media and, not being the clown show circus, all that type of stuff too. So when you ask the question, am I sold on him? I'm not sold on him yet because I was disappointed with what I saw last year.
Yeah.
But I am a believer that he can turn things around. Right. And if the defense was bad last year, but my brother always say he didn't have the ponies last year. And give him the ponies and everything will be better. Yeah.
Listen, like again, I love Eccles, but you're playing with, 6th round rookies and a rookie slot corner. You're playing with Sheldrick Redwine and Gerard Wilson at safety. You're playing with
Sherwood and Hamza starting
Ronald Blair and Tim Ward at D end at times because of the injuries.
Big free agent signing Carl Lawson didn't want to play one down for you last year.
Quincy Williams and Sherwood, they didn't have the horse. Now, should they have been historically bad? No, not an excuse. Yeah. But at the same time, they didn't have the ponies. So
it is interesting how much talent can really change things around really quick. So
what's up, TK Logs? Zach Tom would have been better than Mitchell. Yeah, based on what we know. So keep scrolling down. I'm still like 20 minutes behind. Earl Thomas. I'm at the Earl Thomas point, so I'm still relatively far. Harold is going to A-. Yeah, A-, B+. That's where I'm at right now. Should we pick up Quan Alexander? Yes. I'm down with it. Again,
so
12 games each of the last 2 years. It's not like he's like injured where he's only playing a game or two. Like he gets banged up.
Down for
it. Kamal is saying Elijah Moore is an excellent route runner and it'll help Wilson. Also, he'll have sauce in practice. Listen, if Wilson needs to learn how to run routes, Elijah Moore is the guy to go to because he can run fucking routes.
Yeah.
I did that review probably in January and it still hasn't been released. So I did an entire show on Elijah Moore's season last year. So that'll come out eventually. I know we are diehard Jets fans. Love my Jets, of course. JJ was a gift from God. Elijah Moore will be receiver 1 this year. Elijah Moore, people are all listen. He needs to stay healthy though, too.
He is a stud.
He needs to stay healthy. Yeah, this hurts sneakers to boots. Man, imagine if Mims' career was polar opposite and he was going to be the X. Like, can you imagine if Mims was Mims and you had Mims, Davis, Wilson, Moore?
You probably wouldn't be drafting Wilson at 10 if Mims did turn into Mims.
No, I don't think so either. If he built on what he did his first year and he was like a legitimate number 1, number 2 type receiver in the NFL, which I think he has a potential to be, you're not drafting Wilson. Maybe a guy in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, maybe Uzukama or whatever, or Romeo Dubs, or maybe even a Pickens in round 2. I get it, but you're not taking a guy at 10. I doubt that. So, let's get Shellback, please. McDermott is trash. Yes, absolute trash. Daniel Jones. I feel like this offense hasn't been this exciting on paper in 10 years or more. At least we're not doing Zach like we did the previous young QBs here. Yeah, I think
this is way more exciting than 2015. I mean, look at the line of 2015 compared to this one.
I was just going to say that. I was going to bring up, 2015 is the only argument, right? And then 2015, you're getting led by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like now we have a young gunslinger quarterback with a rocket arm. It's much more exciting.
Yeah.
And you had, even like with the running backs that year, like you had I love Ivory, but then you had was it Ridley? Stephen Ridley?
Steven with an A. Yeah.
Powell, right? Not the most exciting. Even though I did love, let's be honest.
Powell's a fun player.
I know, I love Powell, and I love the combination of Marshall and Decker. Like that was good. I like.
You had Quincy playing like H back.
Yep. Yeah, that was exciting. But again, this offense blows that one out of the water in terms of excitement. So many young guys.
And let's not forget too that part of the reason the Jets had the level of offensive production they had that year, they played a cake schedule that year. They played the NFC East that year, who was terrible, and Tony Romo went down for the season. Yeah.
So Alex Hunt says, I get your points about Davis, and I like him. He's a good number 2. Agree, but you can't be afraid to upgrade when the value is right. Ridley will be traded on the cheap next year because of the suspension. Well, the suspension is coming this year, but in general, yeah, if you're going to say just because he did what he did, listen, I'm not opposed. If you're going to tell me, hey, next year the Jets get rid of Corey Davis, they save $10, $12 million, whatever it is, and they bring in Calvin Ridley, if they're comfortable with the off the field, whatever, dude, Ridley, Wilson, Elijah Moore, a lot of the same type of receiver, but who gives a shit when they're that good? Come on. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to trade for Ridley next year? It's a really hard question because we have no idea. We have no context to it, but he serves his suspension next year. He still wants to get traded. He still
I'm definitely not giving up a 1. No way I'm giving up a 1.
I'll give up a 2. I think still.
Yeah, maybe a 2.
Yeah, I'll give up a 2. We need fans.
I mean, in terms of the off the field stuff, I mean, did he really just get suspended for the gambling? Is that it? Because to me, that doesn't seem like he's something. I don't understand why you get a year suspension for that.
What for gambling? I think it's just an integrity of the game thing. Like they do not fuck around with people because the NFL makes a lot of their money on sports betting, and if they're starting to think that people are throwing games or whatever because they're betting as well, you're gonna really fuck up one of your biggest markets.
So why is it that players can do fantasy leagues and stuff, but they can't bet on games?
Can they do fantasy leagues and stuff?
I feel like they can. I feel like Maurice Jones-Drew was always big into fantasy and stuff when he was in the league, and
I don't know if you can, to be honest.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not a big fantasy player.
Yeah,
anyway,
I haven't heard of a player ever talking about their fantasy team because same token, betting if money's involved, do you really want to get that touchdown? Obviously that's I'm being a little bit dramatic, but
people in the chat will definitely know more than me. So
I don't think they can play fantasy. I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe if it's a free league and not a money league, I don't know. But how do you govern that? You just go in but then again, some people have dumbass friends who'd give it up. At one point talking about Max Mitchell and the O-line in general, Solid did say if Mackay comes back here healthy, Joe Douglas likes Mitchell's versatility and Clemens' nastiness. Yeah, Clemens seems like a nasty MFer from his highlights. He seems like he's aggressive as hell. So let's see, NFC North. K-Log thinking 8 win team. Yeah, I think 8 wins is where I would go. 8 and 9. If I had to guess a record, that would be my on the dot. You agree, Kyle? 7? 9?
Yeah. 7, 8. That sounds about right. But let's also kind of see how the schedule plays out when we play who, when, and what other free agents we sign too.
Obviously, prefacing by I'm asking you this question on April 30th. So let's see. We have to go 3 and 3 in the division or 2 and 4. Honestly, at this point, Kyle, do we sign the dotted line for 2 and 4?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? I think I would.
No. We've been getting our ass kicked for way too long in the division.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to be happy with 2 and 4, man.
We haven't won a division game in 2 years. Getting 2 in 1 year. I don't know, man.
If you can scoop up,
I think you get
combined 3 wins between the Patriots and the Dolphins. I don't think it's that unreasonable to think that it could happen.
Yeah, I think.
And
I
you
think,
never know. You could maybe steal a game from the Bills. It's not impossible. I mean, it's a divisional game. It's very unlikely, but you know.
Yeah, I'm assuming you get swept by the Bills. So then you're telling me you have to go obviously 2-2 with the Pats and Dolphins. I wouldn't be thrilled with it. I would be happy with 3-3, but I think 2-4 is the floor of what you want. We can't get swept in the division again. We can't just win one game in the division because, again, to me, you have a better roster than the Pats. The Dolphins have a good roster-ish, but they're not some slam dunk team you can't beat, especially if Tua throwing the ball.
Yeah. You're asking me if I'm going to sign up. I hate those teams. I'm not signing up to lose to them. I'll bet that.
Cool. I like it. Yeah, Sneakers. This would hurt. Imagine us winning 10 games. Like dude. Let me look up the teams in the AFC right now. AFC, because I'm gonna forget them off the top of my head. Like there are so many freaking good teams and the talent they added. Bills, Von Miller. They just added another top corner in the draft with Booth, right? Like obviously
No, Kyer Elam.
Elam. Yeah, you're right. But obviously they're absolutely stacked. The Bengals, Super Bowl team last year. The Browns, good roster. Just obviously we have to figure out how much Deshaun Watson's going to play, but with Watson, they can easily make a run to the playoffs. They have a really deep roster. Steelers, listen, they went 9-7 last year, 9-7-1, and they had Ben Roethlisberger, who was a dreadful starter. Like I get the name, but Trubisky might be just as good, if not better, this year. Like just based on how bad he was last year. Ravens, you get Lamar Jackson. Or you have Lamar Jackson, and obviously they were super injured last year too, so they're a contender. Titans, the number 1 seed last year. The Colts are a really good. They have a good roster, and they have who's their quarterback now? I'm blanking out right now.
The Colts, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan taking him over Carson Wentz. So they're a good team. Texans, Jags, okay. But then we get to the AFC West, which is stacked, man. Stacked. You have the Chiefs, obviously. The Raiders, what do? They're just a playoff team last year, and they add Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones. They already have who's the edge rusher, the white dude? Really
Max
good.
Crosby.
They have Crosby next to Chandler Jones. The Chargers add J.C. Jackson. They bring back Mike Williams. Khalil Mack. Stacked. Broncos, what do? Nothing much. Just add Russell Wilson. Like the AFC is
No. I think Joe might be freezing, not me, because
it is me. I don't know why that's happening. It's my shit's running fast again, so I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
Let's see. I think the Ravens got likely. There's a couple of picks right now. I have to go over the last couple of picks because I'm not there. Same between A-, B+. Yeah, I think it's fair. It's a good draft. We're happy, especially the fact that you're surrounding Zach Wilson with as much talent as you are. Like Kyle said, like when's the last time on offense we could say, hey, where's the hole?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yep. Some of those 2009, 2010, obviously a hole at quarterback. You can't look at a straight, and we knew that Mark Sanchez was handcuffing that team, right? Especially in 2009 before Santonio, you look at the receiver room and you're like, there's a lot left to be desired there, right? But now it's definitely way more balanced, and there's depth there too, right? Like when you're talking about these tight ends, man, like you got Ruckert could turn into a solid starter, right? You got some depth on the O-line, right? Receiver. Yeah. I'm excited, man. Oh, so Sam Howell got taken by who?
Well, I see the Commanders.
Okay.
Not bad. So somebody just asked in the chat. I didn't highlight it, but I will in a second. He asked what we're doing at linebackers. So some free agent linebackers. Let's take a look here. Share screen. Schobert, like you said, I want to look up their numbers and how they really produce and if they've been injured last year, but there are names who have been, listen, do I think they're going to be absolute slam dunk starters? No, but do I think some of these names in this grouping could be better than Sherwood, or Quincy Williams? Yes. Like you said, Schobert, Hitchens has been with the Chiefs for a couple of years now.
He was really, really, really bad. He was getting his ass whooped in that playoffs game against the Bills. And the Chiefs fans hated him there.
Okay, that's a problem. That's a problem. Minter, Quan, we're talking about it a lot. That. I don't really know. Wasn't Anthony Walker available too? I guess not anymore. But I would be cool with AJ Johnson's another guy too. You brought up, right?
I think I was asking you about him. I don't really know him. I was looking at him on another site.
I remember reading about free agency profiles, and there was just some guys that people were talking about, or I think that we were talking about at JetX in terms of guys who would be decent pickups. Schobert was one of them. I think Johnson was one of them. Minter was one of them. Nobody really mentioned Quan because of the injuries, but Nick Kwiatkowski too is apparently a pretty good coverage guy from the Raiders. So there are some guys out there. I want to see them bring in an inside linebacker or a linebacker in general. And then another thing we want to see, Kyle, is the defensive tackle list. So these are two positions I think the Jets will address with a veteran, or maybe they trade back into the draft right now. We still have about 100 picks to go. Again, I don't know if we're saying live for the entire 100 picks, Kyle. You can kind of call it as you see it, because I gotta do another stream after this for at least a little bit.
Yeah, no.
So
we will not stay that long.
We will not stay that long. Again, we have to learn really watching these guys who exactly is going to be the run stuffer. But let's not say there's not some name power here with Goldman, Star Lutulele, Ogunjobi, Sheldon Richardson. Dude, even McClendon.
McClendon, he's old as hell. If you want a nose, you could consider Danny Shelton.
Yeah, there's some guys. Again, I would probably say three guys I would just basically off the top of my head would recommend here and want for the Jets would be try to think run a little bit more run Eddie Goldman. I think he's kind of similar-ish to – he's not a true run stuffer, though. But Goldman, Ogunjobi, Sheldon, there's some guys who can get after a little bit right there. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That was in terms of this. Onto this question, what are we doing at linebacker? They need to do something. It's a big hole. It is. Steelers grab two receivers. Maybe they don't want to pay Deontay, not Devontae. Looking at all these other wide receivers getting paid.
Do you have an Ethernet cable, Joe?
Is it freezing that bad?
Well, I'm just saying, if you plug it into your computer, you'll probably get less of that.
Oh, well, yeah, but then I have to sit in my living room.
Oh, well, don't worry about it then. It's not that bad. It just every now and then, once in a blue moon.
This is my downstairs living room. This is the cave a little bit. So the couch is not comfy.
Steelers grab two wide receivers. Maybe they don't want to pay Deontay. Looking at all these other wide receivers getting paid. LOL. Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing. And the Steelers will let receivers walk. They let Mike Wallace walk to the Dolphins. He got a huge contract. Juju, they let him walk. Obviously he's not very good.
Oh, the freaking Chiefs got Darian Kennard.
Okay.
Good pick again, man.
So yeah, the Steelers obviously they developed good receivers and they let them walk. They traded Santonio Holmes. I don't think they wanted to. It was more of a him type of thing, but they did eventually trade Antonio Brown. But yeah, the Steelers nasty. So I think that one of the things that we have to consider right now is what is the value of a wide receiver? Is this market just getting really out of whack? And you have some teams that obviously they see the offenses that some teams throughout the league have, the Rams, the Niners throughout the years, the Packers when they're good. And they're like, how can we keep up with this firepower? Well, we got to add receivers. And then some other teams are like, well, you guys are just you're going too crazy on receivers. So I think some teams, that's why we saw some of these receivers traded. Baltimore is another team that doesn't overpay for people. So they have to get into contract negotiations with Marquise Hollywood Brown soon. Lamar Jackson obviously did not want him to leave. Just look at his tweets.
What were the tweets? I really didn't see him. I was
So when it was announced that Hollywood Brown was traded, Lamar Jackson had a sad crying face emoji comment tweet or something like that. And I even remember weeks ago too, when there was rumors that Hollywood Brown could be traded and Lamar was tweeting no way type of thing. So, the Ravens aren't the type of team to really overpay for a receiver. And Hollywood Brown is mostly just a deep threat. He's not a complete receiver. So you're going to give him close to $20 million a year? I wouldn't, So I think there's this kind of really big divide going on in the league right now where some teams are really valuing receivers really highly. And this could be, and again, I know that Tyreek is a Hall of Fame player. He is, right? And I know he's only like 6-7 years into his career or whatever it is. But he's going to be a Hall of Fame player, not to mention that he has a ring. But I know that Joe Douglas was willing to pay him about $30 million, but were they willing to do the same for some of these other guys? And maybe that's why he opted to take Garrett Wilson as opposed to trading big draft capital and then paying the big contract as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I like for the Steelers, I think you could make those picks and just think you're adding talent to your team. And then obviously you see how it develops from there. If those receivers are studs and Deontay wants too much, then you get rid of them. Do I think that receiver right now is getting a little bit overpaid? I do. You're not going to convince me receiver is more important than corner or D end or tackle, and they're starting to surpass those numbers. So I think it's becoming more of a premium position based on how quickly guys need to win in the NFL nowadays, and how much obviously the passing game is emphasized, but it's still, again, below tackle, below quarterback, below DN, below corner for me. So, and at this point, I think they have all those positions in terms of getting paid. Like it's like quarterback, receiver right now, which is too much for me.
Eagle said Tyreek a Hall of Fame player ? Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a hyperbolic take, and maybe he does jack shit in his time in Miami. And maybe he doesn't get there.
Throwing him the ball.
maybe he doesn't get there because of that. But like his career trajectory, yeah, I mean, like he's already got like 60 something touchdowns, close to 70 touchdowns or whatever in his career. Mm-hmm. But he's got like this crazy stat where, in terms of like 40 plus yard touchdowns or whatever it is, like he's by far and away leading everyone over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So like, not only does he have like a lot of touchdowns in that span, but they're like crazy, insane, long touchdowns and stuff as well. So, and by the way, it's not just act like, oh, it was Patrick Mahomes that made him too, because he was a superstar when he had Alex Smith as well. So, and he's still only 28. So I'd like to think that he could probably have still a couple good years left in him. Mm-hmm. So I think that when all said and done, I think he probably will eventually be a Hall of Fame player.
I'll throw this one to you, Kyle. Kieran, with Sauce Gardner being one or second cornerback, where are the Jets going to put Bryce Hall?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this yesterday. I think Bryce Hall is going to play significantly less than last year. There might be some sets where the Jets decide to roll with 4 corners.
I think Dime has played about, like, don't quote me, like 15% average in the NFL. So,
but even so, are you going to roll with 4 corners though? Or are you going to have some? How many safeties are you going to have in there? Right. So
like big Dime. We're talking about Dime with an extra safety. It's like big Dime.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. So like, I mean, like you could roll with.
I'd rather find a way to get Bryce Hall in the field over Ashton Davis. So.
Yeah, especially considering like Ashton's not a great tackler either. I mean, he's a willing tackler, but definitely not a good tackler. But the point is Bryce Hall is going to play a lot less than he did last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I again, I think they'll force Dime a little bit more because they have the talent at corner. So maybe he'll play 20% of the reps. But then again, you're going to have a guy who gets banged up for a game or two. So yeah, he's going to play significantly less. But the thing is, like, listen, I like Bryce Hall a lot. Like, for where he was picked, he's a home run. Like, I think he's a starting level corner in this league. So to have a starting level corner as a backup, like, Jets fans, we're not used to backups being good. Like, we have a problem. If anybody's just okay as a starter, they have to play. They have to be a starter. But if you have good starter, Michael Carter, who we'll see, but he's obviously the slot guy, but ahead of Hall, who's also a decent starter, then guess what? It's called depth. We have to get used to it. There's going to be some players sitting on the bench who would play on bad teams, but we're trying not to be a bad team.
Yeah.
You could have a legitimate, very good superstar corner in Sauce Gardner, and then past that, DJ Reed he's a good player, guys. He's good. So be excited about the corners. Say he'll be a backup. I don't think I see. Yeah, he's not playing over DJ Reed. He's not. Maybe they will.
There's no way they would have given DJ Reed that contract.
I
guess, yeah, but like
Nathan Cosgrove, like this could be possible in some looks. Like, there are some looks where, because Michael Carter II played some free safety at Duke. So could there be some looks where maybe if they have like a power slot, big slot, whatever you want to call it, where Hall can play against that guy and you move Michael Carter to, like it could happen, but I would still put it around 20% of snaps he's going to see this year, 20, 25, 30%, maybe 30 on the high end in terms of a guy having, getting banged up a little bit for a game or two.
We could see more spin looks too, where like, Michael Carter, he lines up like in like the slot, and then like, he retreats back, to safety post snap. We could see more of that this year, maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to that since he has some experience doing that.
Sorry, AFC is so stacked he froze while saying ridiculous. my bad, people. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I'm like running like a good amount of like 500 megabits per second. It should not freeze. It's just stupid. And again, my computer has 1,000 of files on it, so maybe that's why.
It could be a computer thing. I mean, one thing that StreamYard Studio says is that make sure you have a good computer. So obviously you do, but your computer's using a lot of RAM and stuff. So
yeah, I need to get a new one eventually. Like, this computer's at least 5-6 years old. So I need it. Wide receiver 1 could be considered a hole. Yeah, no, it's like, sure. Would you like a superstar? Yeah, we'd like a superstar at safety, at linebacker, at tight end too. So I don't think wide receiver is a hole, because you have, again, Elijah Moore, who we expect to be wide receiver 1, and even if he's a really good 2, and you have Moore, you have Davis, and you have Wilson and Barrios, I think you're missing a superstar, but not necessarily a hole. It's more of a want than a need. Say, I was at work. Who did we get? We got Max Mitchell, the tackle, and the DN, because I always forget his name.
Clemens.
Who
from Texas A&M, 24 years old.
I'm trying to think of how I can remember Clemens. I don't know.
Early scouting report is stiff hips, not a great athlete, but super long arms and aggressive as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a guy who might be kind of the vice versa, what you typically see with pass rush specialists. He might be an early down specialist at the end, which is okay. Say CJ Mosley is probably like, come on, man, I was drowning last year. Yeah, he needs some help. He does. Quincy Williams is a good backup. Like, or he's a decent backup. He is not our starting level guy, I don't think. But whatever. Wow, Kennard was available. He's much better. Again, based on what we think. But yeah, I would have rather had in a vacuum him over Mitchell, but maybe watch Mitchell when we're depressed. So, moving on. Bryce Hall's not playing free safety. We discussed that yesterday. Michael Duran, Niner fan here. You guys are crushing the draft. Michael Clemens, very underrated player. Look at that. A fan of another team complimenting us and saying a player who we don't really know about is underrated. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt here, Michael Duran, that Michael Clemens is very underrated.
Appreciate that,
the steal of the draft. I don't. What did the Niners do? They didn't have a pick until late, right? So they didn't.
61 was their first pick, 60. I believe.
Who did they take at 61?
I know they took a running back in the 3rd round, I believe.
Of course, that's Niners fashion. Take a running back every year.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. It's a good thing to do.
Run them into the ground, and I mean that in a good way. Niners run game is sick.
Hall, if he learns zone, won't be third anything.
So CD really likes Hall based on some earlier comments that I've seen.
He's not playing in the slot, and he's not playing over DJ Reed.
Yeah, there's no way he's playing in the slot. He's not playing over DJ Reed. So yeah, if you think he's going to play a lot of snaps, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, he's not. He's not
athletic enough to play in the slot. There's no way. So, it's Snoopy. It's Snoopy. Damn, JD killed this draft, learning more offense like a modern day GM. Can you imagine? Yeah, the Jets haven't had a plus offense since 2015, and even in 2015, we knew it was short lived. We did.
Yeah.
Go get an external hard drive for. Yeah, I tried to do that years ago, and like I remember like copying all of my files and going to put it into it, and it said like something to the effect of like, "Are you sure it's going to delete this and that or whatever?" I was like, "I'm not sure." I'm not sure. And I just never followed up with it. So maybe I'll like one of the ones that I could probably get rid of like my, I don't know, Cam Clark review at this point. And try to dump that in the hard drive and see what happens. I got to figure that out though. Sketchy.
Definitely, whenever the future computer that you get, just make sure it's like, take some of this super chat money or whatever, website money, and like when Jan donates, he'll be like, "This is for the Joe Blewett Supercomputer Fund."
Yeah, it
definitely get like the top of the line. Computer on the market. Make sure it's got so many gigabytes. Mm-hmm. RAM is through the roof.
Yeah. I think for me, investing in just a halfway decent computer is a very dumb investment. Like at a certain point, you got to spend money for quality. So yeah. Brian, I think Breece gives us good enough run game that we don't need a true number one wide receiver. Yeah, like listen, the Jets are going to rely on their run game. Like they're going to be a run first team. So then when you do go to pass and you're running those play actions and you have guys who can block and Uzama, Conklin, and Ruckert, Jesus, that the receivers are not going to be as emphasized as much. We're not going to be running 10, 11 personnel all the time. Like it's going to be pretty heavy 12, which heavy 12 in the NFL is still only going to be like 30, 40%. But yeah, it puts less emphasis on the receivers. Like they're good in the trenches. So Bill straight up to get you.
Yeah, by the way, and let's chill. Like Elijah Moore could definitely be a legit number one wide receiver. I think some people might kind of slow the roll with that talk just because he's a little bit on the smaller side. But I mean, there've been a decent amount of good receivers that aren't that big, right? Antonio Brown. I'm not comparing playing style, even though I know some people made the Antonio Brown Elijah Moore comparison. Antonio Brown, not the biggest dude in the world, 5'10" or whatever, right? Nobody in the right mind would have said he's not a true number one wide receiver. So Elijah could definitely be a true legit number one, and so could Garrett. But I'm saying, like, based on what I saw last year and what I saw in his college tape, Elijah, I'd feel decently confident in saying that, 2-3 years from now, people would consider him a legit number one wide receiver throughout the league.
Yeah, me too. I think he's getting there. Super chat. Let me scroll down to that. Obviously, that takes priority. Gareth Brooks, $20 computer fund. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gareth.
That computer I get, I'll be able to draw on it and make little coverages and lines and routes and all this stuff and circle feet and leverages. And so Gareth Brooks, I appreciate that. Kyle, we're not splitting that now. I'm kidding. Moving up, but definitely appreciate it. Gareth Brooks, always a big supporter. So moving back to Hall is corner 3. I don't know if that's like Lamo, like in terms of like.
I think he's like saying like mocking, like you're an idiot. Like he's going to be playing a lot because he's the third best corner on the team.
Yeah, but he's not, because he's not a slot.
Or he might be saying LMAO, thinking that he's better than DJ Reed.
Yeah. Oh no. DJ Reed's legit. He's a player. So Kev Trotta team.
Feisty little SOB.
Dude, yeah. The way he's able to break like out of running full speed is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like he's really good. Teams run 4 wide receiver. There's plenty of work for a corner. Yeah, no. Again, I think Hall will play about 20 to 30% of the snaps. Last year we played 70, 80 probably. Like I get that people don't like to see him on the bench, but when you have a guy like Sauce Gardner out there who can be an elite corner in this league, you take him. It just is what it is. You don't reach for need. Not that high. You walk away with a top 5 player with a top 4 pick, and you got my second best player in the draft, who could easily be the best player in the draft after 2 years. Easily.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview?
It's something I said last night. What I do like about, if we do a 4-corner set, all these corners are pretty good tacklers. So the concern that you have with running 4 corners, like when you run dime, small dime versus big dime, where you have multiple safeties as opposed to 4 corners, you get yourself in the situation where you're scared if the team does run the ball that you're going to have some guys that aren't good tacklers out there. So if they do run 4 corners, I'm not too concerned that we have guys that are like a real big liability in terms of making tackles. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Hold on, maybe he's not Amish, is he?
No, he's not. They used to call him. That was a nickname. I think the Bills fans nicknamed him that, the Amish Rifle, just because his facial hair color. I get that crap too because I have kind of like red in my beard.
Oh, dude, I could 1,000% see you with a top hat riding in a carriage with your like buttoned up wife. I get 1,000% see that. You do. I get it. So
when we were kids, we stayed at an Amish vacation place for like a week or something like that. That was a vacation in my parents' mind.
So it's true. So it's all true. I knew I had that inkling. Our DV room is dog eat dog in the yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Like even the fact like Hall is going to be competing with Eccles for corner 4, and he'll win in my opinion, but Eccles has higher physical upside than Hall does. He does. And again, for him being a 6th round pick in his rookie year, he played well last year. Do I think he's a starter? No, but it's not like he's going to be handed that fourth corner spot again. I think he wins it, so don't bite my head off. But
John Hassel, Amish can't watch TV. You'd have to take the horse to the tailgate.
He didn't watch TV last night. It's all coming.
I did. I heard it through your TV.
I don't know if that counts. Does that count in Amish world? Jets Reaper, we're going to pound teams at drafting Hall and Ruckert. Him and Carter will wear defenses down. And that's when we'll use play action. Yep. Yeah. No, that's it. That's it right there. Make them think you're like, and have good.
You're going to see Zach hit a lot more shots this year.
Have a lot more versatility in terms of like percentages of like, and I don't have to like really think about it last year, but like in years past, Jets run first, second down, pass third down, run first, second down, pass third down, like mix it up a little bit, you know? But I think the Jets running game is good enough now. We're going to see second and third, seconds and twos. And what do you do on second and third and second and twos, Kyle? You take fucking deep shots. That's just how the NFL is nowadays. So I think you're going to see some of it for sure.
Yeah, teams are expecting, they're going to try to convert for the first down, run some play action, get the linebackers biting up, get the safeties biting up, take a shot over them. Yeah.
For sure. So hopefully more 12 personnel can keep the stable of receivers healthy and rested. Yep, that's good. June the Jet, formerly June Smith. Big Joe, what's up? What's up, June? Since nickel is becoming more prevalent in the NFL, having 4 good corners that can play at the same time. Seriously, nickel is the base. It is. It's like 50% of the snaps people are playing nickel about. Oh wow, the Seahawks got Tyreek Woolen, the super high RAS guy corner. Good pick, but 50% of the time. So one guy goes down. Guess what? Hall has to step in, or Guidry or Eccles has to step in. So you want a really good depth guy at each position, like linebacker, all those positions. You want at least one guy who can step in and be legit. And the Jets have one guy in Hall who can step in and be very legit. So, Greg says, think the Jets crushes just this draft. Wife says, I'm walking around smiling like I lost my virginity again. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I just got a text from my older brother too, who he loves to tell it like it is, but he also loves to clown the Jets when they deserve it. And he just texted me and said, I love the Jets draft minus Breece Hall. I don't know why I didn't ask him yet, why he doesn't love that pick. Maybe he just thinks it's too early. And he said Max Mitchell is one of his favorite players. So I think I'm going to see him later, so I'll ask him why when I see him.
Yeah.
But my point of me bringing that up is to say that pretty much everyone, like I said, I had students message me yesterday, other friends, every media personality. Pretty much seems like everyone likes the Jets draft, including Jets.
Yeah, everybody's saying we're knocking out of the park, which is great. But we'll see. We'll got a couple of months to dive into the film now. So, Joe Dirt, the most part, I like what we've done, but I'm going to wait before I celebrate into you to watch the film. And yeah, appreciate that certification, the check mark. We'll see. We'll see. From what I've seen, a lot of these guys, I like them. I like the upside of Wilson. I like, again, Jermaine Johnson, 26. I love me some Saucy. We love Sauce. But I got to figure out a lot about Breece Hall at 36. That's big. Obviously the tackle, and then we'll look into Ruckert. But from what I've seen from Ruckert, I'm a fan. He's gonna be a fan favorite. I was thinking about it, Kyle. And again, just a stupid part of being a fan, but we've been streaming for 10 plus hours the last couple of days easily. 3 hours today, 6 hours yesterday, 4 hours the other day, and it came to my mind how a lot of fans like the Steelers, when they had the tight end, or the Cowboys when Cooper caught the ball, it's like Coop, and you
yeah.
I kind of want us to do that with a Jets player. So could it be Ruckert?
Even the Giants had that with Victor Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz. Yeah, so could we do Ruck? I don't know.
Doesn't seem to work as well.
Come on, we can make it work.
Maybe.
Ruck. I don't know. Yeah. I want it. I want to do that. I want the stadium to.
Well, I tell you what, though,
is what I want.
With social media and the internet nowadays, it seems like it would be easier to foster something like that. Where, hey, listen,
Can I start it? Can we foster it right now? Did we just initiate something? I want a chant when Ruckert catches the ball. Maybe not year one.
You need that O or that U sound though to kind of be emphasized.
We have it's a U. There's a U.
Yeah, but then the ending is
hard. It's hard.
I don't know.
Ruck. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll test it out. We'll go to stadium and start yelling it and see who follows. Some dumbass will do it with us. Eccles is a dog. Yeah. McGovern should be much better this year with the improvements at guard compared to last year. Yes. Did we re-sign the good Dr. LVT? A backup tackle would be a smart move.
Does he even want to play anymore?
I think so. I think he got his situation figured out with his degree or whatever he was doing in Canada.
Oh, hey, Kev Chada said Breece.
Not a bad one.
I could that one works more than Ruck.
That does. Yeah, that does. Hey, I'm cool with Breece. Because I
rips off a 60-yard run, Breece.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I want the stadium to be good again. Like Kyle, you know how it is. Like even the Panthers game, like we were losing, talking shit to the Panthers fan about how bad they were because they weren't cheering. Like we get rowdy. And yeah. I want other fans to also be rowdy. I hate when fans sit down. I hate when they're looking at their phones. I hate when they're not clapping. I hate when they're not yelling. If you go out of a Jets game and you didn't lose your voice for a day, I'm disappointed in you.
And dude, MetLife week 2 last year, opening day for MetLife Stadium, it was rocking. It really was. And then
the home opener this
year, three picks in the first half and then 1 in the second.
There's going to be excitement
and dude, even the Patriots fumbled on their opening possession, man.
As soon as that happened, were you with me?
Yeah.
We're not together. As soon as that happened,
I was with you. I mean, you went to go get, food 5 different times and beers and stuff.
Shots. Yeah, we did shots. But no, that play, I remember watching that play. I don't know if I ever said it or thought it, but it legitimately happened. Just like the first play of 2020. When we take the ball back to like the 40-yard line, there's a holding against the Bills. I'm like, season's fucking over. We're gonna suck again. You can just tell. I've been a Jets fan for too long. And then that game, we recover a fumble because Marcus May strips whoever it was. Clear fumble recovery. Pats get the ball because they blew the whistle too early. I'm like, we're fucked. We're not winning this game. It's not happening. That cannot happen at the beginning of the game and you win. Not for the Jets. This year maybe, but like there's gonna be so much excitement around week 1 this year. Or week 2 home opener. Who would you predict the home opener is gonna be? It's usually divisional, right?
I would say not the Bills because the Bills, we've played the Bills on week 1 so many times throughout the years.
I really hope.
But the Bills are like a household team that everyone's looking for now. So they're probably going to, I would say their week 1 matchup's probably going to be, it could even be a primetime game. And if it's a primetime game, it's not going to be us. So we don't usually play the Pats or the Dolphins week 1, so I don't see that changing. It's probably going to be some obscure game. Like sometimes we play the Browns week 1 or the Raiders week 1. It could probably be. I would say it's probably going to be some
random.
I'm
gonna go. Well, we opened up. Last year was the Pats. The 1 year.
You're saying week 1? I mean week 1.
I'm saying home opener. I'm saying home opener, and then.
Well, it could be the Pats for the home opener. I could see that.
Dolphins were the home opener with Darnold's rookie year.
True.
I'm going Dolphins. I'm going Dolphins.
Okay.
Because Dolphins are the type of team where I'll be like, okay, we can beat them, but it's going to be a good game. So I'll be nervous about it. Like I would like to I would love to have the Jaguars week 1.
Who's the Dolphins defensive coordinator?
I don't know. Who they bring in because obviously. Their staff got changed. I honestly don't know. I think somebody asked that before actually too.
I know that it seemed like Flores was really a hard dude to work with. But his defenses were good.
We have
Josh Boyer.
Okay. Isaiah Dunn relegated to the practice squad. So right now, Kyle, we have Reed, Sauce, Hall, Carter, Eccles, Guidry. Yeah, unless you're carrying 7, I would say Dunn is a practice squad guy too. They have 6. Like, dude, Guidry being your 6th corner is very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Even though he's more of a slot guy, they even played him on the boundary a little bit last year, and he wasn't horrible there.
Harold is saying Tyreek Woolen
I saw that
is terrible. Yeah, again, but the athletic upside. That's why they pick him. His tested that through the roof. So. Oh no, yeah, and Alex, talk about Michael Carter. We're not forgetting Michael Carter was a savage last year. Like the guy never went down on first contact ever. He was very, very good.
Yeah.
So we're not overlooking him because of Breece Hall. But you have what should be a very good running back duo.
Yeah, we're not doing that at all. Part of the reason is just because sheer volume. Like Michael Carter went down a couple times last year, and you almost kind of wonder with his relatively smaller stature if he can just handle a huge punishment workload where someone like Breece is a little bit bigger and has obviously done that throughout his career. It would just based on talent and size alone, it would seem that Breece would get more carries. But dude, Carter as your 1B. Whew.
Yeah, it's if Hall lives up to his draft slot, like, and again, do I love running backs that early? No, but when you're stacking up the offense with capable receivers, capable tight ends, a good offensive line, capable running or very good running backs, like, is what it is, you know. Why do I think JJ dropped? For every reason we told you he shouldn't been in the top 10 for months. that is why, right? Like we told you guys. So even though I thought he would go in the top 10 just because of how much smoke there was to how great everybody else thought he was. I didn't see it, but we said that we didn't see him deserving of a top 10 pick.
Oh, Alexander Hunt actually meant the cornerback Michael Carter II. We actually did talk about him before. We're really high on him, and we're actually talking about like when they run nickel, he should definitely be on the field, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they run dime, he should definitely be on the field. He was a hell of a fine slot corner last year for a rookie, and he flashed right out the gate too, man. Like he had some really nice reps. Like week 1, he's locked up against DJ Moore. Hell of a play.
I wonder what my wife got for lunch.
I can't really see it. Oh, okay. Now I can see it.
I wait at my door. What'd you get? Just laughing. All right. I'm gonna go with mac and cheese. That was the story of the morning, mac and cheese. All right. Who has the best intel on linebackers or safeties or tackles that might slip out of the draft of fullback? We'll look in a little bit. I thought you were talking about linebackers, like in terms of the Jets having really good coaching staff in terms of developing those guys. But then again, it's not like Sherwood or Hamza or any one of those guys or Jared Davis really lived up to or exceeded expectations last year. Jared Davis was a complete bust of a signing. Even at the time of the signing, like I was pretty positive with Fant, but watching Davis is kind of like, really? Like $7 million for that guy? I don't know.
It was all projection, man. Like you saw the highlight plays when he goes downhill, he can smack the shit out of somebody, but there was just way too many lackadaisical in coverage. Sometimes you get him running laterally. He has the speed and stuff, but sometimes he can over pursue or under pursue, cut under, meanwhile the running back bounces the run outside. Just not a smart player, to be honest.
All right. Let's see. SLJ James. I love Max Mitchell. Just need strength a bit. Yeah, that was one of his like weaknesses on the screen was that he needs to bulk up and get a little bit more strong. But for me, like watching just initially, he didn't look like he was the most dynamic athlete, even with having edge strength. So I guess we'll see though.
Yeah, his RS score wasn't good either. So
yeah, it's supposed to sound like boo. Yeah, Steelers still do that sound with Pat Frymuth.
Like Muth, yeah.
So we're doing Breece.
And they used to do Heath with Heath Miller.
Heath Miller, yes. And obviously the Cowboys had it with Coop. So Ruck would likely come out as Rook. Yeah. I guess Breece is better. I'll give Kev Trotta credit. I would like that. But then again, but the only thing is with running backs.
Ruckert, Rook. I guess.
With running.
Is that the fire alarm?
It's my
smoke alarm, smoke detector.
No. So what happens is we have the alarm on, and my wife hit quick exit just to open the door instead of actually just having to type in 4 more buttons to turn the alarm off.
Oh,
shucks, no. Get out of here.
Max Mitchell has a 95 run blocking grade, best in college football. Great sign. I'll just say this again about the whole grading system, PFF wise, when you're talking about college prospects that went to and played sub Power 5 program, he's going against much inferior talent, and PFF is actually very upfront about this with their grades. Their grades they can't adjust their grades based on scheme or opponent or anything like that. So if he's winning against inferior talent, okay, but like, does he have the skill set? Like, do you watch his film and do you see that, could this translate to the next level? That grade doesn't really determine that necessarily. Mm-hmm. So, now let's give PFF their credit with like a smaller school guy. They were super high on Cooper Kupp, super, super, super high. And like he's clearly, you put on his college tape, and I did watch it. Like there was like a ton of highlights of his college tape. Somebody put it out there recently, and I was like, man, he was just dominating these guys, and he had an insane grade. But he did fall to the 3rd round, I believe, because their teams did question, okay, well, if he's a 4.62 guy, is some of this stuff going to translate to the next level? But you know, he's a hard worker, he's a super smart player, so I guess some of it did translate. So you got to be a little careful with just, you know, using the grades and automatically saying, oh, this is a great signing or whatever, especially when you're talking about lower end guys who play against worse competition.
So more important than PFF and numbers and actually evaluating guys, Kyle. My problem with the Breece chant is with the running back, how do you determine when to do it and when not to do it? Because like receivers, tight ends don't get as many catches. So
it's just like when he catches, whenever he catches the ball, you know, the Coop, you know, I get it.
Yeah. So
you're going to give the run back. You're going to say Breece when running back gets it. That's actually not a good thing because you're telling, like, let's say the Jets are going to.
No, I think
like,
after it.
Like, let's say that, you know, you have like a behind the line view of the Jets offense. And let's say that they actually hand the ball off to Breece, and you could see clearly that Breece has the ball, and you're saying Breece, and you're actually telling the defense, yeah, he actually did get the ball instead of running play action or something.
Galaxy branding that one, Kyle.
Just saying, you know, and actually might get the defense off. We got a super chat from Alexander Hunt.
Yeah, let me go down to that. But yeah, so the thing is, like, if he runs the ball 21 times in a game, if he gets a 2-yard game, are we going to yell Breece?
No,
I don't know.
Shouldn't. Listen, they will say Coop or move to a 5-yard catch.
But it's still, you know, I think we have to.
But if you said Breece and he actually lost yards on a negative run,
I think we just need to be the trendsetters and making Ruck sound cool. So, Alexander Hunt, appreciate the super chat. Consider this an investment on a Sauce jersey. Kyle got to get one too. Yeah, Kyle, I think we're both doing black Sauce jerseys.
Black Sauce, gotta.
And
the reason, and I love the black jersey anyway. And like you said, could call yesterday about like it's better for when you're eating and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But also for me, the main reason why I decided on black is just because he wore black jerseys at Cincinnati.
And like I think skill position players in black is really nice. Like O-lineman,
like if you got
D-lineman green.
If you got a Vera Tucker in black, it wouldn't look as good.
No, even though the hyphen is cool, like you like that in a name. I don't know. Again, big aesthetics guy. But
someone said Al Toon, like Toon.
Did they do
that?
The
Jets did Old Giant Stadium used to do that with Al Toon? I don't know.
I've never heard it, you know. Let's see. Hold on. But no, that Alex, again, Kyle and I, when we're on, we split the super chats, so this will quite literally go to the Sauce jersey in some form or fashion. So thank you. Let's see. Sauce chance will be the one when he makes a play. Sauce, I don't know.
Doesn't work.
Big Sauce guy, big comment guy. So sneakers and boots, man. I wish we had our own stadium with this team, not this unoriginal air conditioner or tin can looking piece of shit. It's true. The stadium is terrible.
So bad. It's
the area is terrible. The atmosphere is terrible. Like, great. They have a lot of parking space. The getting out of it is a complete bitch. Getting in is a complete bitch. So I wish they did something else. But the thing is, like, people say, oh, New York would be a lot more difficult for me to get to and from. Like, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm in line 7:45. I get home at about 6 or 7 at night. That would turn into me getting up at 5 and getting home at 8 or 9. So I don't know if I want that but I would really like a better stadium. Like and especially going to stadiums, like I've been to Carolina, I've been to Buffalo, been to Indy, been to, Cardinals, going to Green Bay this year, probably going to, I think I'm doing Seattle or Denver. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Probably Seattle because they can compete in that game. Denver, Mile High, Russell Wilson. But
Mile High is a cool stadium though.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But like seeing all those stadiums and then going to a Jets game.
Dude, you want to see Geno Smith playing? Come on, man.
I want to see the Jets beat Jamal Adams. That's what I want to see.
Go to both.
Maybe. We'll see. Kyle, you came to Carolina next year or last year, so we'll see what you do.
I'd like to go to an away game.
Green Bay.
A little far. I did go to 2 away games last year. I also went to Kansas City. So
true. Yeah, it wasn't a Jets game though.
True, but hey, listen, I like your idea of trying to go to every stadium. So I did cross off 2 last year.
Yeah, I'm going. I think I got like 5 or 6 done last year, but let's see. I was letting the Panthers fans know Sam Darnold was awful, but not their problem now. They didn't want to. I am so happy because like we got into like when I go to games, I hate every single fan base. Like just knowing that they were so confident about how great they were week one, and then now Sam Darnold is a massive problem. They have Sam Darnold $20 million and Baker $20 million on the roster with no real answer at quarterback is very satisfying. Even though overall I really like Carolina. I didn't hate the fans; they're all pretty nice, but it's a different story.
You almost got into a fight. What are you talking about?
That's only one guy though. One guy and his girlfriend. You know, you weren't on.
No, they were pretty nice. This one guy, he started sitting in it. Remember the big dude who came and sat next to us, and we're like, "Bro, you're in the wrong row, man. This is your own stadium. You're not even in the right row."
Yeah. No, you weren't there for the porta potty situation, but that was fun.
Well, yeah, you told me about it.
Ruck. No tanking. I think Rock is better. Let's see. I was so mad when that should happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, maybe the Pats game, the fumble. He's probably talking about that because I'm behind. I'm gonna try to catch up. I'm like 10 minutes behind the chat. Do I think JJ starts week one? Yes. You're gonna start your.
Yep.
Now, does he maybe go off the field on third downs at first? Like right now, I'll rep to obviously.
Yeah, you put in Jacob Martin instead. Yeah, I could see.
You rather have Martin or Curry, or maybe even Huff. You know, maybe. Yeah.
But he's going to play some third downs for sure early on.
Tyrann Mathieu is the star of Jetstown, huh? Right now, everybody.
He's very popular across the entire NFL.
So
Chiefs fans loved him. They were so sad when he went down early in that game. He's very popular player. Look at how many players on Twitter. Like I'm talking about big time players throughout the league. Yo, sign my boy Matthew. Sign the Honey Badger. He's a very popular player.
Yeah, let's see some of the top guys. Like maybe the Jets don't just sign some of these backups. They make a splash a little bit. Let's see who NFL.com has as the top ranked guys. Oh, there he is, Tyrann Mathieu. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be opposed if he's willing to come at a good contract, like $10-11 million a year. Okay. Odell Beckham, no. Dwayne Brown, no.
I was shocked when I saw he was like 36.
The Jets don't need more edge players. Clowney, Ingram, Gronk, no.
Okay, but this is what I said to you yesterday. Clowney is better on the interior, and he is good against the run. So I would not hate if they signed Clowney. Now Trey Flowers, he is an edge guy, but
no. Akeem Hicks, B tackle, cool with it. JC Treader, probably not. Will Fuller, no. Eric Fisher.
I mean, you're not signing him to be a starter unless for some reason Becton can't go. Then maybe you do it.
Should we sign Anthony Barr to a non-guaranteed contract and then cut him?
Just to rub it in his face.
Yeah. Justin Houston, no. Sheldon Richardson, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
I didn't hate Richardson. Like listen, going 143 with a kid in the car and guns and smoking weed, probably not the best idea, but he's older now. 2, cool. Down.
Forgot about that.
Dude, there's a decent amount of
Kevin King sucks.
Larry Ogunjobi. Yeah, he does suck.
Donta Hightower. Yeah, he was a really good player at one point in time, but I don't know about it at this point.
Let's say so. Yeah, I would, but I would rather sign a decent level safety and a linebacker and a D tackle than Matthew. Like you can get another backup role type safety, $3, $4, $5 million a year, or let's just say $3-4 million a year. A D tackle for $3 or $4 million a year, and a linebacker for $3-4 million a year for the price you could sign Matthew. So I rather have 3 decent players than more of like a superstar type player with Matthew. To be honest, do we know anything about Michael Clemens? Kyle kind of recapped it before in terms of being a little bit tight, balls to the wall type player, good arm length. It's probably some good
concerns.
Yeah, character concerns. K Delgado, Max Mitchell is really good. His game tape is fun. He was off of the Senior Bowl though, and it sunk him.
Granted, it's harder for offensive line at the Senior Bowl, though.
Oh, well, you have a two-way go. Yeah, you have a two-way go, 7-step drop, whatever. To be fair, though, to Delgado, he did said really good relative to 4th-round backup offensive tackles. Go to a poll for the Ruckert chant? For what? Are we down to start the Ruck? Ruck.
I think the ending doesn't make it work.
You know, Kyle, sometimes you gotta adjust, you know? Figure it out. Someone's burning the mac and cheese. No, it's a freaking alarm. It's my house alarm. Gotta run. See ya, TK logs. Tune. Did that really happen? Breece chant whenever he gets a first down. But are Jets fans smart enough?
But you have to do it. But you have to do it like the chant doesn't come after; it comes in the moment, like at the point of the catch or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever been done with a running back. Garrett, like Daryl Strawberry chant, if you remember it. No, I obviously remember who Daryl Strawberry was, Mets, but I don't remember the chants because I don't know if I was alive.
Baseball, that works. That can work in baseball because baseball's so slow paced. That wouldn't work in football.
Murdoch says they did do tune. That's cool. I want to bring it back. I love that. I love when people do that. Use could work for Uzama, but I don't think we're going to.
I'm not starting to chant for Uzama.
No,
sorry.
Ditto Joe about beating Seattle. Blood. I if there's like one win you can guarantee me right now, give me that Seattle win. That's the win I want this year. I want to beat Jamal Adams. They're going down. We're going up. I would love it. I like the way the stadium looks. Everything else sucks hard. It looks like
maybe on the inside it looks okay.
In the inside, sure, but the outside, I guess if you have an affinity for AC units, then yes, you'd love the way it looks. That's the only way I could say. I guess it's cooler at nighttime because like they have the strips of green or blue and they light it up at night. Yeah, fine. Daytime, it legitimately looks like an AC unit. So,
when's the last time the Jets won a primetime game at home? 2017, Josh McCown against the Bills.
Bills, Jets stand to everything. I think so.
They almost won Monday night against the Patriots in the tank year, the Gase year.
Flacco. They almost beat the Broncos too. That was a primetime game, right? Thursday night.
Yeah. Oh, thank God we lost that game.
Yeah, Darnold. Yeah. Let's see.
Broncos
going to my first Jets game.
Third string quarterback.
Going to my first Jets game next season in Dallas. My brother's a Cowboys fan, so it'll be fun.
We do play in Dallas. I actually asked my buddy.
You play in Dallas?
We do. I asked my buddy if he wanted to go because he's a big Cowboys fan.
Wait,
he just got married. I was at his wedding. I was like, we should go.
Okay. Is that true? You're 1,000% sure they play in Dallas next year?
Actually, no. I think it's not. It's not. Wait, I think it's the following year. We're going to be in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, but because I looked at that.
Yeah, no, it's the following year.
Because I want to go to Jerry's World. Okay, so guess what? Guess who's going to Dallas in 2023? This guy. I'm going.
I could see myself going there too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely Dallas, and then again, it's Green Bay, and then see if it's either Seattle or Denver. Probably Seattle. Wilson and AVT for a box safety. JD is the go. Yeah, it's you're winning that trade with Jamal Adams right now. Definitely. RUCK Ruck you. Thinking of everything here. I'm starting a Max Mitchell cheer. Cool. Clowney is not an all gas, no brakes player, Kyle. Fisher has a backup, yep. In between Joe.
He definitely does not. He just definitely does not fit the solid mantra, but he's a good player though. Good player, not a great player.
Joe must go. I'm assuming you're talking about Chance. Joe? Talking about Joe Douglas? Like you don't like the draft, Chris? I haven't seen you much. What's going on with that? Joe must go.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Fisher has more. Yeah, they need. Well, they have Mitchell now. Rusty's boy went. Kyle Phillips to the Titans.
That's the UCLA defensive tackle.
No. The receiver.
Receiver. Okay.
Yeah. I don't like they have Max Mitchell. I think again, I would prefer in order linebacker, D tackle, safety if they were to sign more guys. Richardson was shit in the locker room with Brandon Marshall, but I haven't heard anything about him being problems anywhere else. Yeah, he's been pretty low key, right?
Neither have I. And Brandon Marshall, I mean, I know he's a big mental health advocate and stuff now, and he seems like he's
practiced one day.
You did what?
I was at the practice on the sideline, and he like tossed it into the stands, or
he
threw
tossed
it maybe over the
stands.
His helmet. I think it was his helmet, or he kicked a football. I think it was his helmet.
Yeah. So Brandon Marshall's not the easiest person to deal with, too. So I wouldn't blame it all on Sheldon.
Twisted God, 3 hours of streaming. I just got here. Glad I can review it later on. Appreciate that.
So we've done a good over 13 hours of streaming.
Yeah, Kyle, I'm gonna say we answer a couple more chats and we bounce off.
That's cool.
It's cool with you, and I could eat the buff chick wrap my wife got me, and then do another thing. Jets Talk 24/7. I think they're still on, but I told Ron I would go there, so I have to do that. You guys are forgetting Uzama. I just don't think he's a big enough. Like, you have to be a kind of a star.
Did the Bengals have a chant for him?
I don't.
I know Bengals fans loved him because of his locker room hype stuff.
Back page of the Daily News one day will say "Ruck that." Yeah, I can see that. That's a good one. There's gonna be a bunch of sauce puns, of course. That's never gonna end. Breece, Bryce Hall, the Carters, like they have so many punnable things. I don't think they're playing it out.
Training camp should be fun this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. What time for Jets 24/7? I'm gonna say if we bounce in a couple minutes, I'll probably go on like I don't know, 3:20, 3:30. I don't really have a time. I think I'm just gonna pop in, but I told him I would go for a little bit. So, Kyle, you good to call it here?
I'm cool, Joe.
Right?
I got a ton of shit I gotta do too. So,
Okay, cool. We appreciate everybody for being here for over 10 hours.
13.
Yeah. Okay. So 13 total hours. Greg saying, what's a ballpark cost for two decent seats in parking? Never been to a Jets home game. 2 decent seats. You're probably gonna be running like $100 a seat. 200 parking, 50. So like 250 for that. So, but yeah, we appreciate everybody being in here. Again, for 13 hours. Now the fun part comes of actually reviewing the tape and really, really talking about these guys instead of just general kind of feelings about these guys. So, Kyle, last comments, and we're gonna bounce out of here.
Yeah, it was fun, and it seems like some people were here for almost the entirety of every stream every day.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So thank everybody, and again, plug the site. jetsxfactor.com. Expect to see lots of reviews coming out in the next weeks and months, because there's not just all these players that were drafted, but there's also going to be the UDFAs and also many of the signings that Joe has reviewed but just hasn't put them out yet. So they're going to be up on the site soon too. So subscribe. First month's free. All right.
See you guys later.
Good. Peace.